Hey, hey. How's it going? Good morning, good afternoon, good night, whatever time you're watching this. As always, thanks for watching Common Sense Fishing. Today I've got a good video for you today. Great live stream. I'll plan on spilling all the beans. So stick with me. Today's live stream, if you're watching this later, if you're watching this live, appreciate it. Smash that like button. Smash the subscribe. Share this video. Let some friends see it. Cool live stream channel where I'm usually smashing beers, talking all kinds of fun stuff. We're going down all kinds of rabbit holes usually, and I cover always lots of fishing stuff too. However, this is, as you can see behind me, a very diverse live stream channel. So welcome to the show. Again, smash that like and subscribe button if you get a chance. We're going to get into today's topic. So today, I'm excited to bring to you, in my opinion, the easiest, best way to catch a double-digit bass, to catch your basses, to catch your PBs, how you should be fishing like most of the year. And when the fishing gets tough, you can dink around and you can mess with these 1 and 2 pound bass. But if you really want to go big, and you really want to catch some big bass, I'm going to show you guys how to do it very simply. So a lot of guys, they got $300, $600 super expensive swim baits that can trick some of these teens into biting. I'm going to give you 2 tricks, well, more than 2, but we're going to do 2 main focuses. So one of them is going to be how to fish at night, because that's when you're going to get most of your big fish. But in the daytime, how do you still get them? And can you get them? Which is yes. So there's a couple different ways you can catch double digits and monsters in the daytime. So I'll follow along. We're going to show you guys how to do that. So first, before we get into it all, like I said, we got the 2 subjects as far as day and night, and then we got all these different lures here. So we're going to go over like what to throw at night, what to throw at day, but we're going to start by breaking down the night. So if you're new to this channel, check all my other videos out if you want, but awesome channel. We cover lots of cool stuff. Now, I've told everybody before, in my opinion, these fish have become extremely conditioned to being pressured by hundreds of anglers every day almost, depending on the lake, sometimes more, sometimes less, especially during the weekends. They're just really getting hammered. So these fish, I think they learn to feed at night. A lot of the bait moves up shallow. Crawdads, bluegills, bait fish, everything moves up. A lot easier for these fish to eat, for one. Less energy exerted. They do not have to be out. They do not have to be moving. They can simply hunker down for the day. Like, move a little bit. Fish don't sleep. They die, right? They got to have air going across their gill. They can kind of just sit and chill. So they do all kinds of different things, but in my opinion, big fish are way easier to catch at night. That's off the bat. So like 10 times easier. Like, I don't know if I can exemplify how important it is that you fish at night if you really want to get a big one. Now, you can do it on low light, very similar to nighttime. So I'll show you day conditions, but nighttime is just your easiest bet. And in nighttime, you want to start by fishing with things that cause a lot of noise or commotion to draw these big fish, because at nighttime, they're not expecting the lake to be full of anglers. They're not expecting lures to be flying at them left and right. They can't see them. Their senses are a little bit deadened. Now, they use their lateral line to sense the movement in the water, kind of like, how like a shark does, right? Or maybe that's a bad explanation because they smell blood. So we'd say like sonar, the way sonar works, or like a bat, right? So they sense things. They sense that movement. So you want to use things like a Colorado blade spinnerbait. You want to use things like a crankbait. You want to use things like a jig. You want to use things that are big to medium. They don't have to be giant. You don't have to throw the giant rats, the giant swim baits. Those will catch big fish too. But literally, as long as You're not out there throwing a dinky little worm. You could throw an 8-inch, a 10-inch worm, throw a jig that puffs up right underwater, looks like a baseball. Big item right underwater, a jig does. Then you've also got crankbaits. Now, they're not too big, right? So those are some of the more medium-sized stuff. Spinner baits, same thing kind of as a jig. And then the 2 blades. So fun little fact is a spinner bait is basically an Alabama rig. So for those of you guys, and it's almost kind of like a swim bait. So for those of you guys that feel you have to chuck a big swim bait to catch a big bass, or you feel that you got to throw an A rig to catch a big bass, I implore to you, if you're not having a lot of success on those, if you are, stick with what you're doing first of all, and because they do work. Those lures catch big fish. I'm not downing them at all. But what I'm saying is, what's the easiest way for a normal Joe to go out and catch a monster? Throw a spinner bait. They just cause a lot of commotion, like a big swim bait paddle tail, or like say a big crankbait or something, right? It's throwing off a lot of motion. And a spinner bait, especially a Colorado blade. So there's different blades. We'll go over those in a second. A Colorado blade is my favorite, but a spinner bait is going to throw off a lot of commotion. And this is your #1 way at nighttime, in my opinion, to blindly cover water, to have forgiveness if you land on the ground, if you hit a tree, if you cast into some weeds, a bush. A spinner bait is way more forgiving than a crankbait. So, and anything with treble hooks, top water, a rat, a swim bait. So think about that. So they're cheap. They don't cost a lot of money. You can throw them pretty easy. They don't require expensive rods or expensive line. Put 12 to 15 pound test on, 17 pound test, depends on how you're fishing, where you're fishing, and just go to town. Cover water. Cast that thing out everywhere. Open water, parallel is always the best thing to do. So if you get a chance, guys, smash that like button. Thanks for watching. So cover water, throw a spinner bait. That's my #1 tip for nighttime, is the #1 time to catch a big fish out of all times, nighttime. Then throughout the night, I would highly recommend a spinner bait for the beginners. Now, once you kind of graduated that spinner bait level, still a spinner bait is killer. So try to figure out what conditions call for. If you're fishing open water with rocks, maybe put the spinner bait down, try crankbait, right? If you're fishing at the Delta, maybe put the crankbait down, pull out the spinner bait. I don't know. So we've got some spinner baits here. We're going to talk about different blades. Before we get into crankbaits and all that, I want to talk about, you've got Indiana, you've got Colorado, and one of my favorite, and nobody ever talks about it, is the Indiana blade. So those are the 3 main blades that you got: Willow, Colorado, Indiana. How do you know when to use what? So a willow leaf is long and skinny, shaped like a willow, right? Like a willow leaf. So it spins faster, right? But it doesn't throw out as much vibration. Okay, so most willow leaves come double or even triple. So they kind of clank and they make a little bit of noise. They do a lot of flash, but they don't kick out a ton of water. Willow leaves are great in the daytime, great in clear water lakes, great in those kind of situations. A Colorado is the big old fat one, right? That's the one that's great at night, and then also great on like really dirty, mucky water, low visibility, or lots of wind, or just something when you want to, when them fish are vicious and you'll see them wake at your lure from heck of far away and smash it. It's a dinner bell, and you want to call bass, and you don't want to be complicated. You don't get hung up in the weeds or sticks or rocks, whatever have you. The spinner bait is king there, and one of the best ones is the Colorado, right? That's one of my favorite. But in those situations, because I fished a lot of ponds, you take the Colorado out to Lake McClure, you'll catch a big bass on it if it's windy, if the conditions are right for it. When you're fishing like a mud line, when the boats are out there tearing the lake up, or when the lake's rising or dropping and the water gets real stained and dirty, Colorado blade actually kicks some butt at Lake McClure. But how do you know when, right? So how do you know when to throw what? So willow, clear water, Colorado, dirty water, stained water, more drawing power. Willow, more sight and finesse. Daytime, clear water, even if it's nighttime, just more clear water conditions where the fish can see and detail better. And you don't want something just throwing a ton of, and also when you're trying to match a certain hatch. So they want to slip that one up. So Colorado's more like, say, a big bluegill, right? Or some kind of swim bait. While the Willow's got these little blades that are flashing. They're more of a small bait fish, like a shad or something, a little school of them. While the single-bladed Colorado is trying to act like almost a swim bait. Not necessarily a school of fish, but one big one. So that's also important to understand. Hence, sometimes you might catch a lot of 2 or 3 pounders on the Willow, but you go to the Colorado, you might pull out the big mamas because they think that's a bluegill. While the Willow comes by and they think it's 3 or 4 little shad. But when that Colorado, boom, 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 they smash it. So anyways, what about my favorite, the Indiana? That is the, in my opinion, the littlest talked about, or sorry, I didn't even English. Nobody talks about the Indiana spinnerbait blade, and the reason is it's not known as much. It is basically a combination between, or most people don't even know when they're looking at an Indiana. Let's say that it is a combination between a Colorado and Willow. It's like a teardrop. So it's kind of long and elongated, but it's rounded at the end. It's wider than a Willow, skinnier than a Colorado, longer than a Colorado, yet shorter than a Willow. And I particularly like to use those in double, like a tandem Indiana, so, or even double Colorado when they're the smaller size. So blade selection, how big is the blade, right? Because then when you do that, to me, I'm mimicking a little school of those little bluegills that are like this big. That's what I want for the big girls. So I really like that, or a Colorado. Willow, I'm not a big fan of Willow for 2 reasons. It mimics a smaller bait fish, so I think you're going to catch a smaller class fish eating it. And second, the vibration in the tip, unless you have an extremely expensive pole with the Willow blade, sometimes it gets kind of hard to tell, are those blades spinning? Versus a Colorado, it's like a crank bait. You feel that boom, 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 boom. It's like a cadence, you know. Oh, I got something on, like weeds or something, so you pop it, you know, to clear it, make sure it's spinning or your line's not tangled in it, right? So, you know, spinnerbaits, one of my favorite, right? So we got a box full of spinnerbaits here. We're going to talk about those real quick. We're going to move on. So I've got some swim baits in here too, obviously, right? So we've got a bunch of spinnerbaits in here. This is kind of my junk box. I've got some buzz baits in here. So I like, again, double bladed. See, this is a black and red, something to use more at the Delta. Here we go. Here we got the Indiana blade. But see, I keep them even when the skirts fall off. You can just put new skirts on them. But because half my skirts, the rubbers and the rubber bands go bad. The skirts go bad after a while. You got to redo them. But right here, that is an Indiana, folks. That is my favorite, with a little mini Colorado at the top. Indiana. So this one right here, I kill them on this. I swear to God, I'd catch so many big fish. I should throw this of an Indiana blade spinnerbait. So, well, Colorado for you, for those if you haven't seen a Colorado before. Always got a Colorado or 2 in there. And obviously, we know what a Willow is. That's what most of mine are, right? Willow. So there's your Willow. Please tell me I have a midnight special or a Colorado. If I don't have a Colorado, it'd be hilarious. I could beat myself up. You know what, folks? I don't think I have a Colorado blade spinnerbait on me right now. I don't. So they're actually one of my favorites. I lose them all the time, though, when I use them, like my spinnerbaits, you know. I always keep catching fish until a giant rips me off. Yeah, that's not a Colorado either. Oh, goodness. I look a fool there. I don't even have a Colorado blade, but I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about, the big circular one, right? So now, tonight, before the show's over, too, I'm also going to talk about how many PBs we've got on spinnerbaits, what colors and where, what lakes. And I'm going to spill all the beans. I'm going to give me and some of my best friends baits that we caught them on. And I'm gonna give you the weights that I know of and everything. Some of this is old, right? But some of this is recent, right? So we're gonna show you guys. I'm gonna give you guys what I caught my last 2 double digits on, my last 3 double digits on. We're gonna show you tonight, and also we're gonna show you guys what my buddy, what he's been getting some double digits on. So stick around. And as always, we have a lot of fun here. We have a good time. We talk ish, drink beers usually, crack some jokes. Crack beers, drink jokes, whatever. You know how we do it. So anyways, have a good time. Today I brought the banana on the show to say hi. Needed a little potassium and food to get me by real quick. And, you know, bananas are being part of the theme of the show lately. So I've been going out ever since the crash where Robert brought some bananas on the boat and we were struggling. And we couldn't catch any fish. And it was like, we got only like 1 or 2 fish in, and and it was just a tough day, right? We're out on the Delta, and he cracks open his lunchbox. Sure enough, there's a banana. So I jump him for it. What the hell are you doing, boy? Boy, don't you know you don't bring a banana on the boat? We pull out to the main. We eat a banana. He brought us 2 bananas on the boat. I make fun of him even harder. I say, not only do you got 1 banana on the boat, you brought 2? I said, are you trying to kill us? And so we're joking and we're laughing. So we sit there and we eat the bananas, right? So we're smashing them. And we get, we're fishing in the cove. And we get to the main channel. And we're fishing like 30 minutes, man, not even. And sure enough, here comes this dude and flips his boat like 3 times, going like 50 to 80 miles an hour out. I didn't want to get him in trouble, so I didn't say it for sure speed. But he flipped his shite good. The boat landed on him, smashed him 3 times. And we helped towed his boat. You know, we pulled him out the water. There's a video. Most of you guys have probably seen that where we saved the dude on the Delta. But you know, it's hilarious. So I decided let's play with that banana thing a bit. So I bought a banana outfit, and I've been out on the Delta, and both times in the banana outfit too, something crazy's happened. So the first time my hat flies off, the boat overheats. You know, it throws the loud beep when you know there's an oil problem or something. So I'm like, uh-oh. And then it was just some gunk blocking the hole because we were just in a bunch of weeds and junk, and it was blocking the impeller, a little hole in there. So I just had to put it into reverse and blow it out and then hit it back in the drive, and then we were fine. But then the second trip in the banana, we're smashing, and I destroyed my prop and hit a big island underwater. Didn't crack the hull of the boat, but I'm not learning from my lesson. We still taking bananas on the boat, having fun. We're going to test that for a little while and play with it, just have some fun, then we'll ditch it. Of course, always try to respect the seafaring laws of the land, and you don't want to bring a banana on the boat, but I'm going to play with that for a while. So that's how we roll here. Smash that like button if you guys get a chance. We're going to cover now, before we get into my next topic, crankbaits, remember, if you guys want to ask any questions, you got any comments, feel free to just chat in the box there. Let me know what's going on, how you're doing tonight, and any comments as well, and I'll interact with them. More than happy to chat about other stuff. But for at least the first hour of the night or so, I want to make sure I get some really good content in for you guys and gals. And I'm going to be very honest. I'm going to give you guys, for the locals, I'm going to tell you where and what. And for those of you out in other places, trust me, the where doesn't matter. It's the what, the how, and the when that really all tied in. So I'll tell you when they came in the day. I'll tell you when they came at night. So we're going to go over probably over about 10 or 15 different double-digit catches, what they came on, when, where, and how. So we're going to give you guys a spill the beans on some of our best fishing adventures and how they were caught. And believe you me, none of them were with the Depths 250 or with some kind of big, swim bait. Although they are badass, please do not think I'm trashing swim baits or the bigger baits. I've just been a fool and not thrown them. All right, and so. And the money, right? I don't have a ton of money to buy a fancy swim bait rod with fancy swim bait lures and stuff. I do have some. I throw some now. I've got some top water baits that are huge. So we're getting into that category. But I'm going to, like I said, we're going to talk about the past. We're going to talk about what we've caught double digits on, how many, and not just me. I'm going to talk about a couple of my friends and their biggest bass. I've been there for most of them. For some of them, I wasn't, but I got told exactly how it went down, and these people would not lie to me. So we're going to start real quick with the spinnerbait. All right. If you guys get a chance, smash that like button. So we're going to talk about, so usually sometimes we have Freaky Friday, Freestyle Friday, stuff like that. So we're going to go on a fun adventure tonight. We're going to tell you about the first double-digit bass that I ever saw. And it ain't mine. It was my buddy's. We're going to talk about the trip, the adventure, and how crazy it was. So please don't be judgmental. Remember, I was only like 18 years old, 19 years old. So I'm going to tell you everything, all right? So this is a fun one. First double-digit bass I ever seen was about 10, I think it was 10.8 or 10. It was 10 something. Or just over 10, 10.5, 10.8. But it was a 10-pounder. And we didn't have a scale. We were 18 years old. We were out at McClure, me and a buddy. I'm not going to say his name. You guys probably already know who it is. And we're on shrooms. All right, so I'm going to admit it. And we were gonzo. We were having so much fun. And it was like 30-mile-an-hour blasts of wind into our face. And so we didn't fish with bait casters. This is like in 1999, 2000, something like that. So we didn't have no bait casters. So we can actually cast into the wind. It wouldn't matter. No backlash. Of course, you couldn't cast far, but we would cast decent. And we're sitting there at night at McClure, and we're fishing. We always fish at night. We always fish the same areas because we catch multiple. We've got multiple 5, 6, 7, 8s. We've got a lot of fish before this moment. Never a double digit yet, right? So we're like 18, something like that. And we drove up there. We were shroomed out our gourd. And we were about to go kind of. But I think, we might have stayed another hour or two if it weren't for this moment. And we're screaming to the wind. I'll never forget. And we're laughing. We're acting like Lieutenant Dan. You call this a storm? I'll show you a storm. Ah! We were all crazy. And I was fishing right next to him, man. I think I was using like an 8-inch worm or something. And he was using a spinnerbait. And sure enough, this fool catches a 10-pound monster. We get it to shore, and he lands it, right? Now, you got to remember, about a week before, at the same exact spot, with either a spinnerbait or a bottom bouncer, he had on, in my opinion, the same fish or a bigger fish. A monster. 10 plus. Got it all the way to shore and actually had it. It fell off the hook, shook, got out of his hands, and he dove in head first. Had it, was wrestling it, and it flopped out. No kidding. Like a cartoon. And I just laughed hysterically, like I always do when some shit like that happens. And got him out of the water, and he was just bro, you seen it, but we couldn't count it, right? So here we are the next week, and we're just flipped out our gourd. We're having so much fun, and he catches a freaking double digit. And no, we don't have a scale, so hell no, we're not letting this fish go. There ain't cell phones like that. We got like lame ass like fake digital cameras back in the 2000s. None of the cell phones had cameras back then. So you used to have one you'd carry around your neck, or you'd have like a pocket one if you were cool, right? So when you were out hanging out and chilling with the homies, sometimes you'd be taking pictures at the bar, or pictures out partying or getting smashed, or whenever you had hanging out with a bunch of girls and you and your boys, or you'd be at the parties or dress or whatever. Like Halloween parties were super fun to go to back in the days, right? So you had these little cameras, but these things suck. So sorry, but yeah, that 10-pounder died, and it wasn't mine. I didn't say to do it, but I wasn't arguing. So we packed up to go, and we drug this 10-pounder up to the car, right? And we're sitting at the top of Barrett's Cove in McClure, and we got no cell phone reception, but we're shroomed out our dome. And my buddy goes to call his dad, and he calls his dad, And his dad answers, and we have a conversation. We tell him we just caught a 10-pounder. He's like, no way. And we're like, yeah. And he's like, oh, he's all, bring it. I want to see it. You know, want to weigh it, got to get pictures, right? No thought of releasing it, right? This is in the late 90s, early 2000s. I mean, we would have if it would have been during the daytime when we had a phone, you know, or not a phone, but just the daytime, because we always had those stupid cameras. But we tried taking like 100 pictures. The lighting was shit. Couldn't get a good picture because we didn't want to kill it at first. But once we couldn't get a picture and we couldn't verify weight or anything, like we flipped out. So we went to his car. He searched his car. Of course, no scale. We're only like 18. He calls his dad. His dad answers. There's not supposed to be any cell reception. Trust me. There's still no cell reception to this day at this spot that I'm talking about. And we're on Cricket too. So we were using those 947 phones back in the days when they first came out, and they wouldn't. So if you're not from the area, you know, when they first in the early 2000s, cell phones were coming out, they had all these odd and end carriers. They weren't like Sprint, Verizon, AT&T, Pac Bell, something like that, right? Singular. It was like Cricket or, you know, Zinc Mobile or some whatever, right? And so it was one of those, and they only work in this little city areas, right? They don't work in the country, never did, and they never worked up on the mountain. But we're freaking like true magic, and like we magically powered this phone to get through somehow because we had a full conversation with his dad, and we knew we were crazy, right? And we were like, do we even really have that conversation? We're all crazy. We get home safe, right? So we pull up, and sure enough, his dad's up and awake. And he's like, yeah, we really had that conversation. And to this day, blows our mind on how the hell we were able in like 1999, 2000 to make a phone call with a crazy ass outdated phone on a cheap network where we were been out of reception for over 30 or 40 miles, and you do not get reception. And then when the phone call was done, no more reception, no more phone calls. We tried to call for a scale or try to call like our buddies. Nope, nothing. No reception, nothing. It was the craziest shit ever. So anyways, that's the first double digit I ever witnessed. It was 10 something, came on a spinnerbait, and I had watched the dude jump in and wrestle a double digit and lose it. That's why also this double digit wasn't just going to get released without being weighed. He had to make sure it was his first double digit. So I don't fault the guy. So he took it home, took pictures of it. So it was pretty crazy, right? So we took pictures of it, and I think they ended up eating it or something, did something with it because there was, couldn't get it stuffed. Poor kids didn't want it to go to waste, so we gave it the reverence it deserved. But that's not necessarily a great story as far as like that wasn't what should have happened, but that's what happened to a lot of big fish back in the 90s. Guys catch them out on the lake and didn't have a phone, didn't have a camera, and you thought it was a 10-pounder and it was your first one. You wanted to be sure. It was like losing your virginity in the bass world, right? So anyway, spinnerbait. That's what came his first one. Now, his second one came on this exact lure right here. His second one also came off of a spinnerbait. My bad. His second one was a 12-pounder at Lake Don Pedro, and it came off of a spinnerbait. So already now you got to think this was his like 20th birthday party or something like that, 19th, 20th. I don't think it wasn't 21, so it was like 19th birthday. And this is the next year, I think. I think we caught he got the double digit at McClure on the spinnerbait when we were like 18. And then on his 19th birthday, we're all up at Don Pedro at the back called the Mine Shaft, or it's Solomon Mine out near the Rogers Creek arm on the backside off of 132 we can drive into. We partied hella hard. We had kegs and everything. And we went chasing fish all night. And I had a crankbait on, and he had a spinnerbait. Yeah, we chased these big giant fish, were making noise and jumping and sound like they were just destroying stuff. And we were just super excited. We were chasing them all night long. And a couple hours in, I actually ended up catching one. and get it in. It's like a 20-pound carp. I had snagged it. And so once I realized those were schools of carp, I was hella pissed. So I just wanted to go back to the camp and go to bed now because I was all drunk. And Jeremy said, or Eric gave his name, but he said, nah. He goes, don't go back. He goes, come on, let's keep fishing. I'm like, blah, blah, blah. We're arguing, and there's a cove right like this. And he's standing on one side, I'm standing on another. There's all these boiling fish busting and doing stuff, and I had just caught like a 20-pound carp, so I assumed they were still carp. Stopped casting. Sure enough, man, while we're arguing, boom, I got one. That's just a carp. Doosh, it jumps. I'm like, my carp never did that. I go, so I run over there and I help him land it, and he 12-pound freaking bass, right? Not quite a teener, over 12 pounds. So 2 bass now, double digits on spinner baits. So then we move into my first double digit. Any spot recommendations? For sure. Thanks for watching, Vic. Yeah, we're going to give you a couple of spots on new Maloney's. Let me finish my first double digit real quick, and then we're going to give Vic some tips and tricks on new Maloney's. They're hitting it for the first time and where they should go. So it depends on lake level. I haven't been there in a long time, but I'm going to tell you some of my favorite places to fish and what to watch out there, what to watch out for there, okay? So first double digit of mine came on a Biggie Papa, cold-blooded. All right. Now after that and before this, we proceeded to catch at least 4 or 5 double digits, or you know who I'm talking about did. I got one and he got like 3 or 4 on this, all between 10 and like almost 12 pounds, multiple. They all came out of the Delta, and all of them came fishing at night except one. One came on this in the daytime fishing a main lake point, or not main lake point, but a main channel point with this right along where it was a point of tules that came out and ran the square bill along it, and there was an 11 and some change, destroyed him. So this is magic. This is how you catch double digits and how you catch monsters. Start throwing more lures like this, even at McClure, Don Pedro, New Maloney's. Don't be afraid to throw like lures that you might assume would only be thrown at the Delta. All right, so Vic's out at Lake New Maloney's, and where do I think he should fish? All right, well, let's pull New Maloney's up so I can get the names of the creek channels and places right. I'm pretty sure I remember them all by heart, but I'm pretty sure we got I'm pretty sure my phone's restarting, so I'm gonna wait. I'm pretty sure we've got Coyote Creek, I like to fish, Black Creek, Angels Creek, and the main stretch along the dam, where the dam's at right there. And when it goes to go back into Angels Creek, directly across the mother lode or the launch ramp from the glory hole, I mean, when the lake's super low and you launch on the right and you look out across, not towards the dam, but straight in front of you this way, that whole shoreline's badass up until a certain point. There's an island out there in the middle, and there's one on the right that's just full of trees, not good. One on the left is a big rocky island with about 4 or 6 massive trees that kind of ring it, but there's big ass gaps in between the trees, and then there's an island of boulders in the middle of the trees where there is no trees, and that thing will hold massive amounts of fish. So it depends on lake level. So let me check something out real quick for you, and we're gonna help Vic and them destroy it at New Maloney's. They don't really need our help. They're good fishermen, but we're gonna try to hopefully point them to where I would fish and why I'd fish there. And if you guys want to chime in, feel free to, if you know the lake or you're local as well. So we're always welcome to input here and comments. So thanks for watching, guys. Smash that like button if you get a chance. Appreciate everybody here. Still there, Vic? My phone was restarted. No, it still is. I'm pretty sure I got them correctly. If I remember correctly, Coyote Creek is up towards the river mouth, and it's one of the first big long creek arms before the turn or after the turn. Or it's like right there at the turn or something, where you go to where if you look on the map, how New Maloney's is kind of shaped like this, and Glory Hole's in the middle. Angels Creek goes up. The dams here goes south, right, and then it comes around, and then it goes up to the mouth of the river up here. Well, you've got Coyote Creek, you got Black Creek, and then you've got Angels Creek. If you can find them on your GPS, so I have them right here. Yeah, wait.
Where?
Sorry, no, not here. Yeah, my blue ones, I think, from last time, little dude. Because I had some blue headphones on. Anyways, we're waiting for my phone to restart. Sorry. So I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, Coyotes. I just like to show you guys on the map, but if you can follow along on yours, there's a couple islands that are really key, especially in the summertime. And I would recommend that right now, do not rule out, and you need to be able, if you got your fish finder, to look out over 100 to 300 feet of water out in the middle and find giant schools and yo-yo LV 500s and spoons, because there are times in the summer where there'll be a ton of fish up on the shore, and I recommend using jigs, Ned rigs, some medium and deep diving cranks right now in the summertime. You could start with a square bill or a jerk bait if it's in the morning and get up in there and work shade lines and stuff like that. But summer pattern is usually going to be somewhere on the main lake or up towards the mouth of the river where the fresh water is coming in, if there's still fresh water coming in. They're going to also be in some creek arms and stuff, and near that is where they should be. And then my other favorite place to look for them in the summer is near the dams, the outlet. So I don't really fish mid-lakes of most areas in the summer. Some I do. For example, McClure, one of the best areas is Arnold Bay and the massive point right there on Arnold Bay, as well as the one across from it. That's where my buddy's 13-pounder came off of Norman DD22, I want to say. Or no, was it a it was a deep diving crankbait that I think goes 13 to something, and it was a Norman. I know for sure it was a Norman, and it was a crankbait, and you got a 13 plus, 13.8, I think, almost a 14-pounder out at Lake McClure. So give me a second. My phone is just loaded. Smash that like button if you guys get a chance. Thanks for watching Common Sense Fishing. We're breaking down how to catch big bass, how to catch your PBs. I'm going to help Vic really quick at Maloney's, but I got to go do the pee-pee dance real quick right here. I'll be right back. I smell pizza. There you go. I smell pizza. Uh-oh, there be some beer. All right. Hopefully we got some beer coming. Oh, goodness. Okay, so phone just restarted, Vic. Updating, but it's on app 474 of 474. Yay, whatever the hell that means. All right. Anyways, okay, so we're gonna get. Oh, there it goes. Stupid thing. It's really gonna take a few seconds, but anyways, deep diving crankbaits, jigs, medium diving crankbaits, Ned rigs, and you may have to. Hey, Marco. Thanks for becoming a member. Really appreciate. You may have to. You also may have to drop shot and stuff like that. But one of the best ways to get them at New Maloney's, I'm going to tell you guys a quick little story if you guys don't mind. So this will be 2 or 3 minutes. It happened for the Fishing for Mason tournament, where if you guys aren't aware, there's a kid named Mason Forelli. You know, he's been battling brain cancer, and he's just an awesome little kid. And a lot of what's going on, Racho? Smash that like button if you guys get a chance. And a lot of the fishing community support this kid, Mason. And he's been battling a terminal illness now for like the last like 4 to 6 years. And it's been heartbreaking to watch, but we all support him and he does so good. And then, you know, he has his ups and downs as far as with his health, and he's such an awesome kid, right? So they're holding a fishing tournament. Ryan Cook and a bunch of other guys were holding a tournament. So Nick the Informative Fisherman was there, Matt Frazier, a bunch of other guys, and oh, there's my buddy. Yep. So it was super tough. Oh, we got somebody who knows Virgil. Sweet. Virgil is one of my officially like best buds now. That guy has got brother status for me, man. Like he would never need it, but he could come live and crash on my couch anytime. He's an awesome dude right there. So, but well, what I'm talking about though, where the hell was I at again? Dang it, I got lost. Oh yeah, Mason and this tournament. So Mason's tournament was at New Maloney's. It was in the summer, and it drew like over 100 boats almost, or something like it was some big numbers, like 80 to 100, or it was at least 60 or something. It was big, anyway. So it was just a lot of boats came out to support him, and it was brutal. We didn't even weigh in a limit. Guys were struggling. We tried shallow, we tried deep, we were drop shotting, we were top water. The fish just did not seem to be anywhere to be found. Well, one dude just murked them, just killed them, a couple of them, dude. And I know the guy pretty well, right? The guy was out over 300 feet of water on schools of them, yo-yoing LV 500s and 50, 60 feet deep. So over 300 feet of water, the bass were in massive schools around 50 to 60 feet deep. And they were in coves and then also in the big dam area in front of where the dam's at. And they were getting lots of 2 and 3 pounders, won the tournament, did great. And a lot of guys struggled that tournament. So one of the best ways that I think first through third did almost were all the same thing, like spooning and LVing, rattle traps and LV 500s type stuff, blade baits and stuff. Well, not blade baits, that's winter, but they were like using I think big spoons and LV 500s over open water. So that is a super big important tip. Try to use your maps. Look for islands that are supposed to be there, but you can see that the water's over them. Or look for points, long points. Usually there'll be a hump or an island off of one. So follow those out. But right now you may have to graph. So how I would do it personally is I'd show up and I'm going to take you to my 3 best spots on New Maloney's and in probably what order I'd hit them. And being that it's summer, one of the first places I would smash to is over by the dam. I would directly head right to the point where on one side you see the switchbacks that go like this, and then there's the big cove and the pump house is on the right, and then there's a big steep canyon wall, and then it wraps around a point, and then there's a bunch of shoreline, and then after a while it cuts in, and then it does a bunch of that whole freaking shoreline is badass. But particularly on point is where if you want to have fun and catch a bunch of numbers, 1 to 3 pounders, you can stay around there. Like I said, you may need to throw drop shot, Ned rig, but I'd start with something fun. Try deep diving cranks and some stuff like that. Also, a rig can be super badass right now. And if you see a school, go out and check it out and use your LV 500 and LV and drop shot. If your LV won't work, take your drop shot and drop it down and learn to do like a countdown. See, like, let out your pole's a 7-foot pole, let out 7 feet of line, and count how long, and stick your tip to the water and drop it and count how long it takes, and then start trying to figure out about how long you need to drop your lure to get down into a school if you see one, because sometimes they won't always hit an LV 500. Sometimes there'll be a school and they won't bite, and then you'll drop a little finesse lure down there and you just move it and you'll get a little tick. You catch that fish and the school wakes up. You pull that fish up and then you drop your LV 500 down and you go to town. So pay attention to your gauges, heating and air. Sorry guys. Pay attention to your screen, to your graphs, and do not rule out fishing over 100 to 300 feet in the middle by the dam right there, and then going on that wall and out. I'll catch them right up against the shore all the way down 50, 60 feet deep in the summer, but they will be 1 feet deep. So I like to use jigs, Ned rigs, and drop shots just to put them in the boat for sure. But I also like to line myself up and make 10, 20 casts with a deep diving crankbait each way. And then I'll resume bottom bouncing or something, because I'm not just going to sit there and dinkle dork fish all day if I don't have to. I'm going to try to power fish, because that's how you get your big ones, right? So spot wise, Angels Creek, Black Creek, Coyote Creek area, the northern mouth, look for the island across from the glory hole and that whole shoreline by the dam. Super, super important right there. So, and you should do good. Now, there are probably a lot of other places I could tell you about. There's one particular point that I really like that comes out super far, and it extends hella far, and there's a bunch of little branching points and islands and weird stuff that comes off of it. And in the summer and winter, I'll LV 500 like a jig, and I'll throw it like a mile out as far as I can, and I'll let it sink down to 80 feet, 60 feet, whatever, and I just hop it in like a jig. And then reel, and then let it, and then you get a little, that's it, big fish. So thanks for watching, everybody. Glad to see everybody jumping on tonight. Smash that like button if you guys get a chance. We got a new member tonight, Marco. Everybody welcome Marco to the channel. Ooh, look at that. I thought I smelled pizza. I was kind of right. Thank you. Love you. I love these. Are good too. Hey, babe. Any beer? You want to go grab some? I'll give you my card. Okay. All right. So anyways, shout out to Marco. We've got a new member on the channel tonight. So banana is key. Banana. Yep. That's kind of a theme of the channel here for the next couple of weeks. We're going to run with the banana theme, as far as we're going to play with it for a little while. We're going to play with our bananas, folks. We're going to have fun. We're going to see if we can just poke the old fishing stereotypes, that you're not supposed to have a banana on the boat. They're bad luck, yada, yada, yada. And we're going to have fun. Of course, do I plan on regularly bringing bananas on my boat? Hell no. Come on now. You think I'm dumb? But, I mean, hey. I'm just going to have fun with it. I don't believe in superstition, but at the same time, I mean, I'm not going to tempt fate. Yeah, right. I got one on the boat now, right? So, oh, the old wife brought me dinner. So, I got a meatball sandwich. So, but yeah, we got a cool little community here. So appreciate you joining, supporting. Really appreciate that. The Common Sense Fishing community, our members, and the viewers, subscribers. There are a lot of cool people here. We don't get a lot of negativity. And when we do, we roll with it. We have a lot of fun. The trolls are some of my favorites because I win them over usually. I try to, because I'm a troll myself at heart somewhat. I like poking the cage a little. Hey, hey.
You took the pink beer out of the fridge?
Hey, you doing? No, I don't think so. I don't recall taking no beers out of the fridge.
There's only 2 in there, and there's not 1 in there now.
I don't recall taking one. Maybe I did if you're talking about these.
Yeah.
Oh, I probably did.
No, I don't care. I'm just asking because I was going to bring it to you.
Oh, well, I'll take the other one if you want to go buy some more. She already drank the other one. Oh, Street Fighter Machine Soldier. Woohoo! You see Zelda? He's right there. We got G.I. Joe right there. There's fishing trophies all over. There's one right there. And Funko Pop. Also, if you guys have heard of Dritz Duerden, I don't know, Dungeons and Dragons, there's a Gremlins, RoboCop right there. All that Star Wars. I got Star Wars over there. There's McNiners. So a lot of cool stuff. Thanks for supporting. All right, so tonight's discussion, what I was talking about was kind of how to catch your guys' PBs and what to catch them on. So appreciate everybody for joining. Thank you guys. Now, as always, you guys can easily just throw some monkey wrenches in it and talk about whatever we want to talk about tonight. If you got questions, fire them out like Vic did. I appreciate you, Big Vic. Thank you, Big Vic and Little Vic out at the lake. Appreciate you guys very much. They've been longtime supporters of the channel. Victor Juarez there. So they've donated. We do toy drives and stuff like that. So I've took them on a couple toy drive trips. Those are some awesome guys. We got a great community here. So the first lure that I talked about was the spinner baits, right? We talked about how we've got multiple double digits on the spinner baits. Told you a funny story about how my buddy jumped in the lake for a bass that got off right at shore as he already had it in his hand. Was setting his pool, but the hook came out the mouth. The fish shook and got off. He dove in for it head first and was wrestling the bass like this, and it popped out like a cartoon. Dead serious. I swear I saw it all. So then he got one the next week. Lucky bastard. What's the best way to fish McClure at night? See my beginning of the story. Spinner baits in top water. So I would throw whopper ploppers and throw parallel to shore. So get up along shore and cast sideways along it. But then what I do is the old Bill dance, like a sprinkler. So picture this as the shore, and it's not as plain. It's all rocky, and you're standing here. Well, then I'm going to cast parallel and work my lure like this, and then I'm going to do the same thing like this, right? And then each time I'm going to go a little bit farther out until I've done like a sprinkler, right? And I've casted the whole thing, right? And then I'll move to where my next cast hits the edge of where this one was. And that's how I cover water at night as efficiently as possible. Even during the daytime, when I shore fish, it's exactly how I do it. So I do the whole Bill Dance fan cast, make a million casts, throw a million different lures until you find the pattern and the specific. Then you just repeat it and cover shoreline. And that's just what you do at the lakes. And then when you find a good spot, you camp and you don't move. You sit there because there will be multiple fish, tons of fish. So what you're doing is you're kind of hunting. And then when you find them, you stay and you keep catching them. And then there's two types of fishing. Then sometimes what will happen is the fishing will die down. And what you really want to do is stay where you're at because you've got a bunch of fish, you had a bunch of fun, but the school has moved on. But they'll either be back or a new school will come because there's a big reason a school stopped there in the first place if there's more than one. If you got a grouping of 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 bass, there could have been 30 or 40 down there. And if they stopped on that point, on that specific cover, there's a reason. And if you tore their ass up and you caught a bunch of them and now they're gone, or the time of day or night and they're not biting, that moving, sometimes sitting down and chilling, and you wait for the wave, you wait either for the same fish to turn back on. So spinner baits is one of my favorite. Jigs, okay, so clear at night, spinner baits, jigs, and crankbaits. It's all on in top water. Those 4 lures. I will not throw anything else unless I'm in the tournament and I'm super struggling. Then I'll go to a Ned rig. Maybe, but usually I would never have need for that. Depending on the different jigs that I have or the different crankbaits, deep, medium, shallow, wake baits, top water, walking, popper, whopper, ploppers, frog, whatever. And then, you know, your jig, or I already covered that. But the crankbaits, spinner baits, whopper, plopper, and jig, yeah, those would be all I'd throw. I would bring the lure or the poles needed for those, and I wouldn't even bother bringing anything else if I'm night fishing anywhere for that matter. Depending on if I'm in a pond or other areas like the Delta, then I'm going to have a Senko Texas rig usually, or weightless. So that would be my backup fifth one, would be a Senko. Because sometimes the Senko at night is just killer. So hope you guys enjoy. Smash that like button. Thanks for watching. We're having a good time tonight. Catch some PBs, or just give you my advice. I'm no pro. I don't know it all. You know, just I do have some double digits, but my buddies also got like, you know, one of my buddies has got like over 10 double digits. I don't know how many he's got, like maybe 15. So, and almost all of them, they've all came on power fishing stuff, and none of them have come on A-rigs or swim baits. All of our double digits have came on very simple, affordable lures, which is why I'm trying to make this a big point, because a lot of guys hunt their whole life trying to catch a big fish and struggle, or they get that one big fish throwing the giant swim bait, or they can only get the big fish when it's spawn time and they can see them. How do you get them the rest of the time? Very simple. Literally, throw spinner baits, throw crank baits, throw top water, and throw jigs. You throw those lures along with the Senko, and almost any time of year, any place, you're going to weed out a lot of the smaller bass. You may not have as many numbers, but that's how you catch mondos. It's been proven in my opinion. I don't know what else other people had to say like on it, but you know, like what they feel. But I know for a fact, I can tell you that in 30 years of fishing, all my best fish, all of them, have all come from power fishing techniques except for one. I've got one 8.5, almost 9-pound bass on a drop shot. And I know there are guys who have multiple double digits and tons of double digits. There's a famous dude up in Clear Lake who catches tons of double digits on drop shots. So I think he knows where to find them double digits, and then he can get them to bite when maybe I can't with my crankbait or jig, right? And I don't know Clear Lake like that. Clear Lake's full of double digits. Now, could he come down here and pull them out of McClure, Don Pedro, and stuff? I don't know. But I'll tell you for a fact that all of my double digits have all come power fishing. Jig, crankbaits, spinner baits, all my buddies, big giants, spinner baits, crankbaits. That's it. I think spinner baits and crankbaits have been all my buddies caught all his double digits on. I lost something in the teen range. I lost 2 of them on a like a Texas rig Senko, but it wasn't that. It was all called a U-head or a swing head, Eagle Claw U-head, and lost 2 on that, and I've lost a double digit on a jerk bait. But all power fishing techniques except for the 1 drop shot fish and the 2 Senko fish, which were during spawn on beds, and they were teeners, huge. Got them right to the boat, big old 5-gallon bucket mouths, you know, monsters. Broke my heart to lose both of them. I prayed to God, went to church because he gave me another one. He gave me an opportunity. True story. You guys want to hear about it real quick? Because I'm sitting at the Delta, and I get about a 14-pounder pretty much, something like that, 13, 14-pounder right to the boat. And it gets off and dumps, and I cry. I'm done. This is the biggest bass I ever seen in my life, hands down, right to the boat. I busted out. I couldn't help it. I kind of cried a little bit, and I picked myself back up. You know, it wasn't like a bawled or anything, but I was like, you know, there was a little bit of a butthurt moment there for sure. Like, and I was very mad at myself. I tried to self-analyze what I could have done different. Now I know what I could have done different. I know exactly what I did wrong. But Oh well, so I'm not going to do it again. But anyways, that same day, I go to a different spot, Garlic Brothers. The first spot was Dad's Point, Apothecary Cove, where I tell you guys about on the Delta, over by Lois Park, Smith Canal. Second one was Garlic Brothers, right? And I go over there, and then I get like a 12. Same story. Oh, break my heart. Not as big as the other one, but I could tell it was just shy. Mondo. Maybe it was 10, but it was double digit. I've seen plenty of double digits. This is a freaking monster, right? So I'm just at this point, I've never lost 2 double digits in one day. Never. I've lost many double digits. So I was just about devastated and broke down. And I prayed to God, if there's a God, this will be the best way to prove your existence to me. I said, tell you what, if you get me another big fish, it don't even have to be a double digit, just over 5. I said, it's got to be a monster. You put a big fish in my hands, I swear I'll go back to church. And sure enough, I drive back to Dad's Point, and right near where I lost like the 14, I get a 7.5, I think it was, on a is it the square bill? I don't remember. I think it was a square bill. Best bait to hook to a jig. Favorite summer color jig. Sweet. Thanks for asking the question, you guys. You guys are awesome. So my best bait to hook up to a jig is going to be depending on the size, I love a baby D-bomb. Baby D-bomb or a regular D-bomb. Those are my 2 favorite trailers, as well as I have morphed and gone to now. If you've ever, you know what the Ned rig is? Well, they make stuff that are called Ned bugs and like Ned creatures. And they're little 2.5 inch little creature baits. They look like the Mighty Bug. If you've ever heard of the Mighty Bug, the Mighty Bug used to also be one of my favorite jig trailers. That was also Jeremy's favorite jig trailer, the Mighty Bug. So look those ones up, the D-bomb and the Mighty Bug. And then once I got to like a nice bug that I liked, I started using these Ned bugs, and then I found I could catch 100 fish with the same trailer, and I could use it over and over. However, you could not leave the Ned rig on the jig overnight because the skirt will melt to it, right? So you can use it, but you have to remember to take it off. And it's got that elastic technology, and I use those, and they really kill it. So then you don't have to go through trailers. Like you put one on and you're good all night until you lose that jig. So those are freaking awesome. And my favorite color jig depends on, are you talking at night or during the day, but a peanut butter and jelly. I've got a double digit on my channel here. So when you click on my name, right? So if you see Common Sense Fishing, you click on my name and you actually go to my main channel, then like a Yum Dinger, yep, those are good too. Like the peanut butter and jelly Yum Dinger, they make a jig, the peanut butter and jelly jig. And I have there's a jig maker local here, and his name is B Zhang. He's on Facebook. I've got a double digit on his jigs, and I've got multiple 3 to 5 pounders on his jigs. Great jig maker. I love his jigs. Finesse jigs. They're football head jigs, so for their rocks and stuff. So they're not like a finesse head, but they have no weed guard. Because if you fish a lake like Berryessa, Folsom, McClure, Pedro, or if you fish anything that is not very woody and doesn't have a lot of trees, then when the fish bites, you don't want to fish. You don't want, unless you don't want a weed guard, because then you have to stick extra hard. You could snap it. There's ways that just stuff can interfere with that open hook. You just dig right in, and it's a soft lift up, and you don't have to hammer them as hard. So I love those jigs. Those are my favorite. And the peanut butter and jelly. So what I was saying is, if you go to my channel, you click on my main name, right, the main portrait, the very top video, that you should see is going to, like, it's the one that welcomes you to the page. It should be me catching a 10-pound, 8-ounce, 9-ounce, 10-pound, 9-ounce, went both 8 or 9 on a peanut butter and jig cast to catch, plus a whole bunch of other fish that night. So smash that like button if you guys get a chance. Thanks for watching. So I appreciate you guys' questions. Keep firing them if you guys want any information or any tips on your specific types of stuff. Otherwise, too, I'm going to show you guys some of the lures. I'm going to show you the exact lures that we've got our double digits on and where we've got them. Okay, so hang in there. I'm going to take a bite of this dinner real quick. I'm starving. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What do I do there? Oh, goodness. Ah. That'll work. Hey, you do. All right. So you're welcome. All right. So I'm still reluctant to put it up. I have video of me catching a 10 and some change about a month ago. But unfortunately, I killed that fish. I hate to say it. It sucks. I didn't really want to. I didn't really mean to. I tried hella hard to keep that fish alive. But my decision killed that fish, and I feel hella bad about it. So I have not released it. I have video 3 weeks ago, a month ago, something. Another double digit, a monster. And it came off of this. For those of you who don't know or haven't showed yet, my double digit at Lake Don Pedro came out of Mexican Gulch. All right. I'm going to even tell you where. Mexican Gulch with a Goon, an Ish Monroe Goon crankbait. It is the exact same color scheme as the Cold Blooded. It is the exact same lure, just a little bit darker color. Almost the same exact thing, basically. And deep diver or medium diver and a square bill. Both of these we have double digits on. But this is the exact lure, the exact one. I cut as soon as I landed that double digit, I took it off so that I wouldn't lose it. Because, I mean, this is the exact one I stuck it on. Not a different one or a second one, whatever, you know. And I even have the exact cold-blooded. This is the exact cold-blooded. Look at the rash on it. Look at the back. This thing is super ancient. The bill is all jacked up. This is the one I caught my double digit on at the Delta. Like for a souvenir, I won't throw it anymore because it's beaten up and I don't want to lose it though, but I've got a double digit on it. Just kind of want to, one day want to get replicas made of some of the double digits that I've got and then put the lures with them. The actual lure too if I can. So that's kind of the idea. So I got them, plus a little bit of good luck, right? So what we're going to talk about next is another lure I've lost double digits on and I've caught multiple monsters on during the summer too. Is going to be the almighty jerk bait. So make sure you guys get out there. Don't be afraid to cover some water with this. And just like in the wintertime, sometimes in the summertime, you need to let this thing sit. You need to pause it for a little bit. Take some chances, take some variations, jerk it around a lot, and then chill and go take a pee or something, or you know, or go drink off your soda, beer, whatever. You try to do something mentally to make you pause for a few seconds. Then you might get smashed, and when that happens, that'll tell you slow down. So jerk bait. Now they say there's two different types. Obviously, there's three. You've got a suspended, and you've got a floating. Well, you've also got a countdown, and the countdown one's pretty good in the summertime. You can get it deeper than the other two. So depends on if you're in a boat And if you're fishing from a boat, casting towards shore, bringing it out, countdown can be real good, as well as if you're in a boat getting parallel and you want to let it sink a certain depth, a countdown jerkbait can be really good. However, if you're fishing from shore, highly recommend that you use a suspending jerkbait, or not suspended, but a floating jerkbait. So if you feel yourself hit the bottom, you can stop and your lure will float back up. Versus if you use a suspending lure, it's still stuck right there at the bottom. So the next time you hit it, it's going to re-snag again over and over. So I'm trying to help you shore fishermen out as well as you boat fishermen. So here is my jig bag. We're going to show you the actual jig that I caught my double digit on. We're going to try to show you guys some of those Ned bugs if I have any. So this is, I order them from Bijan whenever I get low. What's going on? Keeping it real in the house. Got a lot of members in the house tonight. Thank you guys. Marco, big shout out. We got a new member tonight. So everybody welcome Marco. And thank you guys. Again, a big shout out to all my viewers, subscribers. If you guys are watching this and you're not subscribed, I really appreciate it if you consider hitting it. I try to have a lot of fun here. We try to, joke and have a good time. Usually I'll be serious. I'm going to try to give tips and tricks, but you don't have no clue how much fun we can have on this channel. For those of you who know, you guys know what's up. So anyways, thanks. This is the exact lure, not the exact one, but this is the color scheme and the type that I got my double digit on at McClure. So peanut butter and jelly, just a nice sexy jig right there. Nice sharp, very sharp open hook. So I have no weed guard. There's no weed guard, and it's like a Ned rig. So I don't even need to, I just pop it right up. I just lift up and go, and it digs right in. I don't have to set the hook so hard. And let's get a trailer for you guys. PB&J. Woo, I love it. Nice to see you in the house, Pops. Thanks for joining us tonight. If you guys get a chance, Pops World has his own YouTube channel. So I always like to support fellow YouTubers. They like to support the fellow YouTube community, fellow fishermen and women. So if you guys get a chance, head on over to Pops World's channel. Leave him a subscribe. Smash that like button. And come on back, or do that when the video is over if you want. But yeah, he's a cool dude. So like to shout out people, thanks. All you guys too, if I'm missing you, you guys are great people here. So everybody, we got James, David, Jeff Garcia. So Big Vic, Little Vic, Racho's in the house. So thank you guys so much. You guys are awesome. Keeping it real, and now Pops World. All right. So another key lure that I like using here at New Maloney's particularly is going to be a swim jig. So this swim jig right here is money. I put a little swim bait on it and set it up like this, and I catch a lot of monsters. Now with this one, I do leave the weed guard to give me a little bit of forgiveness for when I bump into something. Donk. And then I could kind of work it out in a way, because there's a lot of wood at New Maloney's. So when you're fishing somewhere that's got a lot of wood, I recommend that if you're throwing a jig, you need to pack some jigs with weed guards. So I do still have, I have plenty of, so when I fish at night, oh, no problem, Pops. So when I fish at night, check this out. Oh, I like to use black and blue. That's one that everybody uses, right? But look at I don't know if you can tell, look, you can almost see purple in it. This black and blue, Bijan does such a good job with this stuff. So I like his paint jobs. Again, I just like his stuff too because I caught a double digit on it. So at nighttime too, I'll also go with some more realistic bluegill pattern or crawdad patterns too. But those are some of my favorite. These are all Bijans. My box is full of Bijan jigs. Another shout out to Ansky's Tackle Box from Tug Addicts Association. I got some jigs from Ansky, and I do fish those. I catch them on those. And he also, what I like about Ansky stuff is I just like getting some of his hand pours. I get some of his unique hand pours, and plus I just like some of his colors that he keeps in stock when he has like the nice pinks, and he has some good realistic basic shad patterns and stuff like that. So if you guys want to check out some awesome dudes, you know, Ansky's Tackle Box, or check out the Tug Addicts fishing page on Facebook. So I also have my own fishing page that I started. It's called Bass Fishing Lovers. So shout out to that group. We're growing really fast. So thank you guys. So we're going to get into what the biggest bass I've ever seen landed. What is the biggest bass? What did it get caught off of? We're about to find that out right now. Now, like I said, the biggest bass I've ever seen in my own, with face to face, my own two eyes, was for sure the bass that I dumped at the Delta. But very close second to that would be I think this is the Norman right here. The eyeballs give it away. Those stupid eyes, when you see them, when they look like that, that's a good old Norman crankbait right there. And it was one just like this. One just like this. 13-pounder at night. Just basically a jig. Red and black jig, right? If you think about it, if it's down there bumping into the rocks, have you got a jig? I mean, it's very similar. It moves a little bit faster and stuff like that. So more of a reactionary bite. But yeah, 13-pound bass on this baby right here. Can you believe that? I seen it. Bug-eyed Norman. Yep, that bug-eyed Norman, just like that stupid ass lure caught a 13 and some change. 13.8, I want to say it was. But who am I? If it works, it works, right? So I swear to you guys, Norman deep diving crankbait at Lake McClure. 13.5-pound bass. All right. Now, spinner baits, Lake McClure, Lake Don Pedro, 10, 11, and 12-pound bass. Out of the Delta as well, but the crankbaits, I'll put a hurting on them at the Delta specifically. Now, out in Don Pedro, I got a double digit on that Goon. So I'm going to be throwing that a heck of a lot more. Believe that. I'm super excited. Now, coming in close second and third, I want to talk about some 8 and 9s that I've caught. And, of course, that's going to be on your LV 500s. These baits, now I do have I have some big swim baits, and I have thrown them. I've caught fish on them. You can tell this guy's been beat up bad. This guy's been thrown quite a bit, river to CF S-Waver here. So I've got some, and I've caught some fish on them, but like barely, right? Not a lot. It's been a struggle. But this one, oh yeah, keeping it real. Yep, him too. See, there's a lot of cool guys that do other stuff too, that do trout. There's some bass fishing guys. There's some that just that do like everything, you know, shore fishing, carp. Pop's World does a lot of like different kinds of stuff. He's got some frog fishing, some carp fishing. He's got a lot of bass fishing. So this is a cool. Landed about 22-pounders this weekend around the rocks at the Delta. Hell yeah. Did you do it like doing what I was doing in my videos? Were you using a crankbait around the rocks, or how were you doing it, keeping it real? If you don't mind my asking. As I always share with you guys, I like to tell everybody what I'm catching them on, and I get excited, or I like it when people catch them on those techniques. So one little lure that I would recommend at the Delta as well, as these main lakes, yep, crawdad color banging against the rocks. My guy, Bam! I tell you, people sleep on a crawdad crankbait at the Delta. Oh boy, that's all I need. Honestly, 90% of the year, 90% of the time, I'm just smashing around with my crankbait at the Delta looking for them biggins. And that's all. That's how my buddy's got like almost 10 double digits on a square bill at the Delta. I shit you not. He's got like 15 or more, I think. But I want to say almost 10 of them are at the Delta or more. Like 10 or 11 of them are at the Delta, and they're all on the square bill. So I kid you not. Now, Sneaky Pete. Sneaky Pete. This little sneaky bastard is a great lure. I love this lure. Sneaky Pete is a great little swim bait that is small. It is not too big. You get the nice little Sneaky Pete. They're not too expensive. And they're just really good for fishing the slips and docks and suspended fish in the summertime. And you just twitch it and pop it. So for those of you who fish the Delta, when you get in those days or the times when the tide bottoms out and the fish pull away from shore, or when it's brutally hot, take S-Wavers, take Sneaky Petes, and get on outside weed edges and fish those outside weed edges like you see me do at the square bill, and also fish docks, all the slips. Like if you fish Ben Holt, if you fish any of the docks and slips, throw those big S-Wavers. Discovery Bay, throw those big S-Wavers. They work there, actually. I've seen, Matt Allen and Tactical Bass and them just destroyed them doing that. But I've also been with buddies, and I've never really had the best luck at that. I'd be lying if I said I did. But I've been with people when they've done good doing that. And then I would usually use my square bill. That's just my go-to weapon, and I catch big fish too. But then I'd see how other guys do it different ways. So it's cool. Now coming in as well with a very heavy nod, because these things have got me a lot of big fish, are going to be whopper ploppers. Kind of my new favorite topwater, because I can just chuck and reel it like a buzz bait. So I can stop. I could just scratch my beard and where am I going to cast next? And you'll get hit on the pause, dead sticking, I swear. You'll figure out some cool techniques with this. Pop and go, steady retrieve, burn it, super slow, or go and then stop. Then go, and then stop. Literally, and wait like that, and you'd be surprised. You'd be sitting there, just whatever, boom, whoa, just dead sticking. So pretty cool. Don't sleep on a dead stick technique, even on a topwater lure. So dead sticking is a great way to catch fish when you're not sure what's going on. You're struggling to find them, or they're very finesse or tough. They're not biting good. Just toss your lure out there and chill. Especially there's fish there. Especially if your bait is scented and it's soft plastic, you can get crushed just chilling like bait. Just a little tap, and there'll be a big old fish, or sometimes they'll just pick it up and they'll start swimming off. Woo! Set the hook, and it's all the way down their throat already. That's a common thing that happens when people dead stick. So when I dead stick, I'm very attentive. The second that fish picks it up, I try to get them. As if you're not, and you're dead stick, by the time you notice you got a fish on, it's already swallowed your bait. So for the bug-eyed Norman, right? I tell you that bug-eyed Norman, I swear to you, has got a 13 and an 8, or not 13, and a 13.8 out of McClure. And I'll tell you right where. Right at Arnold Bay, right on that big rocky point, and out of a raft at that. Launched the raft out of Barrett's, went across, him and his son, and they were out at like 1 o'clock in the morning, and he got a 13.5 pounder with the Norman. Was it a DD22 or the next one, medium or deep? So I don't remember, but it was a Norman crankbait, the bug-eyed one. It was that one. I don't remember. It's not the DD22. It's that one right there. It's the one that goes like 12 or 13 feet deep. So it's like the Goon, like the one that I got my double digit on. If you guys haven't got a chance to check that out, big shout out, Ish Monroe, Biggie Papas. If you guys fish the Delta, I'm telling you now, take my word for it or don't, but I'm trying to help. I'm not acting like I know it all. I just know what I've seen, you know. And I know I've seen guys catch some monsters on frogs. I've seen dudes just destroy them on Cincos, right? But I think we've got about 12 spots left or 11 spots left on the toy drive raffle. So we still got to sell some more spots. So we haven't done it yet, but we have all those lures and we have this. And then we also, I don't know if anyone noticed, but we had a buddy offer a third prize. So he's willing to give some Teckle frogs and some Thunder crickets as a third place prize. So for those of you who got here, who might have got here in a little late, these are the lures I've caught my last 2 double digits on. Both craw color, cold-blooded. We have the Ish Monroe Biggie Papa. Then we have the Ish Monroe Goon. These are both river to sea baits. This one's $8.99 or $9.99, and this one was the same, like $9.99. I cannot rave enough about how badass these freaking lures are, especially the biggies at the Delta. Now in the main lakes, I just caught a 10.6 or 10.8 at a 10.9 on the because my other one was 10.8. 10.9. It beat it by 1 ounce on the Goon, and that was at Mexican Gulch. Did you? I believe so. Oh yeah, gut hooked fish. Yeah, I get them out without bleeding usually, and without dying. I try to do pretty good because I've been with a buddy who let's just put it this way. Me and a certain buddy spent many a days soaking Cincos at Kelsey, and I could always feel that little, and then knew that something picked it up. While on the other hand, my buddy. Next thing you know, ooh, I got one when it moves. Always belly hooked. So, and we didn't want to get in trouble, right? So I got real good at it. I'm going to right now. I was about to get off screen again. Look what you did, love. All right. Sweet. We got beer delivery. Yeah. Smash like for the beer delivery. That was me. No, that was a different buddy. Hey, you got a couple gut hooked, I think, 1 or 2, but I got it out for you. But I got a buddy who got hooked like 100 of them. He's notorious for it. Let's just say that. So I'll check though before we do anything. Okay, so what happens is, for those of you who are new to the channel, I take care of kids for Christmas. Simple as that. I basically try to take guys fishing, and then they give me money or toys, and I buy toys. And at the end of the year, I take care of Christmas for as many kids as possible. Last year, we did 200. So anyways, part of that, Virgil kindly donated this SLX 150HG bait caster, I believe. Yeah. And the also donated a unopened Biggie Papa, my favorite. Oh, I love this damn lure. I swear to God, this lure, I put all my fishing credentials on this lure at the Delta. I swear to you. So, hate me or love me, I'm just trying to help people. You know, I'm not trying to give away everybody's secrets or nothing, but it's kind of common knowledge. Square bills do good. Crawdad colors are good, but that's my money right there. So anyways, you can win. First place wins this. Second place wins the square bill Spro and then 6 jigs. And then third place will win the Teckles and the Thunder Crickets. And the way that it works is we're going to raffle off 25 spots. Each spot goes for $10 each, so that's $250. This is like $100 plus reel right here. You know, there's $60 in lures, maybe $80 in lures altogether at the most. So, you know, basically make $100 to buy kids toys. And we're doing it on Facebook on the Bass Fishing Lovers page, or Sam Matthews on Facebook. I have a post about it, and you just tell me what spots you want. You can Zelle or PayPal me the money. And once all the spots are up, we're going to do the raffle live. So we're going to do the raffle on one of the shows when we do the live stream. I'll do a share the screen, and we do the wheel of names, where I put everybody's names into a wheel and I click spin, and then it picks a winner, and it's cool. I always deliver on my promises. We've actually got 2 reels that should be showing up today or tomorrow that are going to be going out to Ewing Kennedy and RC Creative. And then I've also got a fishing trip with Curtis Leduc, who's also a new member. He won, and for his raffle prize, he wanted to go fishing with me. So members here on this channel, if you didn't know, members on this channel once a month get a free giveaway every month. Just by being a member, you're included in the giveaway. Doesn't mean you're going to win, but you're included in the giveaway. Now, one lucky winner, what they're going to get is, sometimes, I do different stuff. So sometimes you get a bait caster or spinning reel. I've given away fishing poles. I've given away all kinds of stuff. And then I also do fishing trips. So if you're local and you win, you can choose to, I'll take you fishing, full day of fishing all on me, or you can choose a tackle pack or a different gift of your choice. So we have a lot of cool things here. So I want to say thank you guys to my members. You guys are awesome. So there's that little button below that says join. If you guys ever want to be a member, appreciate it. So thanks, Marco. We got a new one tonight, but we got like Jay Care, right? Appreciate you, buddy. So hi, how's it going? We got a viewer from, I think it was India or Egypt, somewhere over on the other side there. So super excited to have viewers from all around the world. So I want to see him win, actually, if we can. I'd love to ship something to like a crazy part of the world and see somebody catch fish with that. That would just be like the best ever. Might even just do something nice anyways. You never know. But anyways, that's kind of what we do here on the channel. So, we have a good time. So I read all your guys' comments. And so tonight's video is, again, like tips and tricks on how to catch your PB, how to catch big fish. Went over the lures. Now remember, fish at night. Heck yeah. Super happy to have you here, buddy. Tell your friends from over there, as long as they like fishing, invite them to the channel, buddy. I appreciate it. You don't have to be members either, too. Just watch and hang out. But you keep watching, man. Keep that notification bell checked. I want to see somebody like that win. That'd be awesome. To send some lures out, but I don't fix any of the stuff. I put up the names on the wheel of names, and whatever happens. However, we do a giveaway every month, for sure, every month. So that's a given, no matter what. And then I actually do them almost every week or two. So we constantly have them to say thank you to the community, to give back. I like to share the love of fishing. So normally throughout the week, I'm uploading my regular videos, fishing trips. I'm uploading other stuff. So it's not always, let me munch on this a little bit. Sorry, guys. All right, phone finally turned on. All right, cool. I had to tell my buddy I was down to fish. Like, yeah. So anyways, yeah, so tonight's video, if you guys want to go back and watch it, it was how to catch a PB, how to catch big bass, what lures I use them on. I've seen other people catch them on. A couple of cool stories. And the main thing is to tell you that you don't need to have a $400 rig with a $300 lure to go catch a 10-pounder, because I've never done that. Never. No, neither is none of my friends. Although there are guys that do, none of our double digits have came out. All our double digits have came dang near with like Walmart gear. Dead serious. So you guys can do it too. I'm not preaching to go out and use cheap stuff and fish like bum or nothing, but I'm telling you that you don't have to break the bank. I'm telling you that it can be done with basic stuff. And then also, if you're a beginner, it doesn't hurt to throw the basic stuff just to get the familiarity before you gotta crawl before you can walk, right? Sometimes, but that's what's the best or recommended line size for fluoro out on the Delta for soft plastics and jigs? Good question, largemouth Lunkin. Good question. So, passing on a budget. I like largemouth Lunkin's question there. So, he's got a very good question. So, what's the best or recommended line size for fluoro out on the Delta for soft plastics and jigs? So, that's a really good one. I myself prefer it for almost any thing that I'm going to set the hook on. For McClure and Don Pedro, I'm at 6 and 8 pound test, usually as high as 10-pound test for drop shots and Ned rigs. For jigs, I usually roll with minimum of 10 to 12. However, if I'm at the Delta, I'm going to say that my minimum is probably going to be 10 to 12 with my max at like a 14 to 17. I would say 15. Let's say 15 to 12 pound test would be my comfort range because I'm not worried too much about line strength. Because here's one thing I've had happen at the Delta a lot. I have hooked into double digit or 8, 7s and 8s and just monster bass, right? That went to go and run or dog me. And you think, well, you got to have that stuff line so you can pull them out, right? So yeah, I had the bait caster, I had this or I had that, and I'd horse them out of the tree or the log they were trying to get in, or they're trying to run me under docks. And then what would happen? They'd get off. I'd get my lure in. You know what happened? I'd either have broken hooks or straightened hooks. And even if I went to better quality, when you have a 10-pounder just viciously pulling on your stuff, and you go from 12 to 20 or, bigger line, sure, that line may not snap. But at some point when you've got a massive fish just giving it its all and shooting on you, something's going to give. Your line, the hook, the lure, the fish's lip. That's why I'm not a big fan of ultra horsing, because if you catch a fish near or under a dock and it gets a good run on you, you might as well kiss it goodbye. The best thing that you can do is dig your tip as far as you can into the water and try to pull that fish down. Because if that fish runs up, it can actually, I've had bass, they're smart. They got a crankbait in their mouth. They'll go and they'll rub up against stuff, and they'll go and they'll hit up against things, and your crankbait bass will rip off, and you'll be snagged underneath the dock. Or on one of the poles or something, right? So they're not stupid. They're very instinctually smart that way, the big ones. And so what I try to do is control the bass in the first few seconds after the bite. When you hook it, then I'll try to pull it and surprise it and yank it towards me. And then I'll play him around the boat if I have to give him play. Otherwise, try to land them. But when you have one that gets a jump on you and it goes underneath a boat, you're in some big trouble. Oh yeah, corn really does work to catch carp fish. What you want to do though is you want to make sure you take the singular corn granules off the cob, obviously, and thread them on one by one, and you put them in there. And one thing you can do is you can put, depending on the laws, I don't know about India, but you can put a little, here you're not supposed to do it in California, but you can do it in certain states. You put a little bit of corn in the water to attract the fish, like chum, and then you cast in right there and you wait. And with the carp, what you'll see is you'll see them nibbling most of the time. And when they do that, kind of lift up and hook into them. Don't set the hook super hard, because if the carp are feeding, they're not going to run off. They're going to sit there and they're just going to suck and eat, and they can suck the corn right off the hook almost. So thank you for that, largemouth Lunkin. Great question, by the way. So thank you. Excellent contribution to the show tonight. That was a very good question. Thank you. Yeah, good channel as well. So I'm pretty sure you had a channel. I'm like, yeah, I think I've seen you before as well. So there's so many like Coach Miguel Basson. There's In Deep on the Delta with Steve Cooper. There's so many different guys. I love supporting everybody. So I always try to recommend that you guys, when I know there's another fishing YouTuber, I'll try to send as many of my people to their channel to help out, especially if they're good people and not a bunch of craziness. Yeah, on this channel, in my live streams, we got some craziness, but you know what I mean. Is like as far as your good people, I try to send as many people your way as I can. And what I mean by that is pretty much most fishing channels, because you don't see too many fishing channels out there acting too dumb, right? Um, there's a couple where I'm kind of like, yeah, you know, but I'm not judgmental very much, man. I've been there, done that. So I want to help out and support. Thank you for everybody who's watching. If you guys get a chance, smash that like button. And again, you guys are just the most awesome guys out there, guys and gals. So thanks. Now, anyways, as usual, what we do here is we run until about 9 o'clock. And so I have my topic I want to cover. When we approach either halfway or just beyond, we usually kind of open up, have a good time, and start smashing some beers usually by then. And we talk about some subjects you guys want to talk about. So any questions, any topics, fishing or non-fishing related, anything you guys want to talk about, floor is yours for a while here. And if you guys want to get back into any of the tips, tricks, lures, and stuff that I've used to catch, and I've seen people catch double digits and monsters with, power fishing techniques, any kind of pole combos, stuff like that, I can give you my best advice on it. Otherwise, I like to have a good time on this channel. So with that being said, you guys feel free to throw anything out there. So what's up, everybody? Danny's Kitchen in the house. Cheers, brother. You got that gift card that I sent you, didn't you, buddy? I'm pretty sure you did, right? Yeah. Danny's Kitchen was one of our winners before the month before this last one. It's nice to see so many members in the chats here, and even the non-members. You guys are awesome too. I like seeing new names, get excited to see new people in the bunch, and this is a very welcoming crowd. So, oh yeah, bread as well will work for carp. J Car, garlic and some other seasoning and stuff. Pops has caught some good carp before too. You can see. Trying to upgrade to more sense than common, but no option. There should be. You have, unless you're already there, buddy, you might already be one of those. I can go check right now for you, but I'm not. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. So if you didn't know, we have members on the channel here, and what they do is they get giveaways every month. We have members only live streams and members only videos, and we have behind the scenes stuff. They get early access. When we finally get the merch bar opened up, man, I'm going to give you members like massive discounts, because right now you're supposed to be getting some, but we don't really have. They won't let us sell merch until we hit 10,000, but I've already got Common Sense Fishing shirts designed. I've already got them made. So, but they won't let us sell them, like I said, until we hit 10,000 subs. So when we do, I plan on having a big old shebang for that. But, we're sitting at 1,500 right now. And I was contemplating having a giveaway for just hitting 15, because the last milestone was 1,000. And the way we did it when I grew and when I was a little channel, we had one at 100, one at 250, one at 500. We had one at 1,000. I was hoping to wait till we had like a 2,000 mark, but maybe we'll have one here, any minute now for the 1,500 mark. I don't know. I like celebrating the growth of the channel. We've only been here on YouTube for just over a year. So thanks to you guys, we got our watch hours, we're monetized, and if you guys are interested in how to get monetized, and other stuff like that. You got your own channels. If you're not there yet, I can tell you some of the tips and tricks that I use to try to kind of help get me there. But you know, we're just such a little small channel. We're barely just there, right? So I like to see the new members. So you guys are awesome. But let's get into some conversation here. So. Oh, that sounds good, buddy. You should do that. I tell you what, I think people would be interested in seeing remote regions of the world they can't get to. I'm going to be very honest with you. What happens is there's a lot of guys from India, Africa, the Middle East, even in our own countries, they have all these fake accounts on Facebook, this and that, and they always, anytime you're trying to have a genuine conversation, all they want to do is sell their product. And I understand you got a mouse to feed, you want to sell your product, there's a better way to do it. The best way to sell your product is to genuinely connect with the people you're trying to sell to, right? So instead of just bumping out, check this out, buy here, check that out, watch this, check that my channel, interact with the people and talk to them, and hey, that's cool, big fish there, hey, you know, and be part of that community, so that when you post something, there will be people that will actually be willing to check it out, versus when they're spamish and it's just like, hey, buy from me, hey, check this out. If you genuinely put a YouTube channel up and you just went out and fished, buddy, I would be your very first subscriber and super happy to do so, and send all the common sense fishing fam I can your way, because there's a lot of successful people that YouTube all over the world. And you know what, like, this is the awesome part of the internet right here, is being able to have a conversation with somebody in India about fishing. I mean, how wicked is this? So we'll appreciate it. So, you know, yeah, we have a great community here, don't we, folks? So I cheers to the common sense fishing community. You guys are awesome. So I think, you know, I'm not that bad, but we have fun here. We have a good channel. We help out the poor and the people in the community when we can. You know, Tug Addicts, which is also really closely, like, I'm one of their moderators. I'm like, Anthony's a really cool dude. There's a lot of cool people in Tug Addicts. So that's a Facebook fishing page that has people from all over the world on it. But locally, we meet up. We have barbecues. We have events. Cool people right there on that. And then I have a Facebook page called Bass Fishing Lovers. So, and my name's Sam Matthews on Facebook. So if you guys want to send me a friend request, I'm super open. I always get messages from people too, asking me, you know, that they're going to be at this and that spot. What should they throw? And I always tell them too, I'm more than happy to spend 5-10 minutes talking with people, even people I don't know, up at least until it gets to a point where if it interferes with my life, I'm not famous or nothing, you know, but and that's not the goal. Really, is just to be having a good time and share the love of fishing. And if somehow, some way, this channel ends up actually earning some money down the road, that'd be great. I've already got a few checks from YouTube, so hooray to that. So that's pretty cool. But obviously, they don't pay the bills, but it's cool to get a couple $100 here and there, even $100 here and there. So this is the beginning of the journey, and I hope you guys stick along with it and watch the channel grow. So like I said, I don't see a lot of YouTubers out there that are kind of diverse like this. You know, I see a lot of YouTubers that do tips and tricks. They do a lot of garage videos like this. You got fishing videos. I try to kind of do a little bit of both. I want to make sure I'm known as a streamer. I want to have live streams constantly because I want to be able to talk to you guys, and it not always need to be fishing too, so we can have fun. We talk about all kinds of cool subjects, but also great fishing content, tips and tricks. I also want to get back into tournament fishing. So not to brag or anything, but so that way I can get out there and just win, hopefully get a little bit more of the fishing community's respect and more viewers too, because there's other guys out there that are trying to tournament fish, and it's a very competitive field. And I don't ever lie or hide when I'm using my stuff. I don't even hide the spots that I'm at. I'm like, hey guys, I'm right here. So we have a good time though. There's a lot of Sam Matthews on Facebook. In California, buddy, with this face, there'll only be my ugly mug. I'm holding a big old giant fish too, big old bass. So on my profile picture looks like it's at nighttime, and there's just a monster bass. Yeah, I'll get a link in the description. Hold on. Here we go. Hold on, guys. My account status. Warning. Your account may be restricted if you violate again. Ooh, did I hurt somebody's feelings on the big bad mighty Facebook page? Zucker turd's mad at me, guys. All right. I don't want to get in trouble now. All right. So I don't think there is a way to do a link to Facebook, is there? Oh, yeah. Like this, maybe. Here. I fish a lot of just tournaments. So something like I've got, if you look right here, Future Pro Tour, I've got 12 of these first, second, and third place trophies from Future Pro Tour. I have fished a couple. I fished River Rat. I fished the Merced Bass Club. I fished the Sencal Elite and the Future Pro Tour. Those are the ones I've been known to frequent. I fished a couple of Windy Wednesday Nighters back in the days. There we go. Got your request, buddy. We'll take care of that in a second. So I fish, a little bit of tournaments. Problem is the last few years have been kind of tough on tournament fishing for me, in that I've been focusing on my channel. My boat live wells broke right now, so I can't put any fish in the live well, so I can't tournament fish in my boat. So I got to tournament fish in other people's boat. Yeah, we've done good, but we haven't got any checks yet. We've done all right. We've had some bad ones, some good ones, just outside of the money a couple of times, really close. Dumped some fish where we could have won the tournament. I should have won a couple tournaments. So it's, and last year I fished a few tournaments and I should have won a bunch too. I dumped. See, I was making a lot of night fishing mistakes because I hadn't been night fishing. I preach about it, but the last few years I'd been doing a lot of day fishing. So I was really lacking in the summertime. I basically lost like 4 tournaments by dumping multiple 5+ pound bass because I was fighting them wrong with a jig. I'll be very honest. I learned from my lesson. I went from about a 50% dump rate once hooked to about a 90% catch rate once hooked. So River Rat at McClure this Saturday night. Nice. Yeah, I might want to. Well, like I said, I'll go fish in the back of someone else's boat. So you'll see my ugly mug at tournaments here and there smiling. Haven't won a check this year, but I'm not a bad fisherman. Let's just say that. I've got some plaques and I won a few, but they're not that easy to win. So but you got to get out there and just put the work in. A lot of times I don't pre-fish because I just take it fun. So I go out and I just fish, and so not excuses or anything. There's, like I said, there's been a couple I should have won that kicked myself in the ass. So the more tournament fishing I do, the better I'm going to get back into it, because I've been bass fishing for 30 years. And all of those trophies are from like 2012 and 2013 and 2014, stuff like that. Or no, 2010, 11, and 12. those are where all those trophies came from. So almost 10 years ago. So for 10 years, I've been out of the tournament game. And I just got back into it, kind of on and off. So yes, you guys will be seeing me at tournaments here coming soon near you at Windy Wednesday Nighters, McClure tournaments, Eastman tournaments. River Rat's a good club. I like them, so you'll see me fish there. You'll probably see me in the BBT here in the next year or two, and also in the Future Pro Tour again. In which case, if I do all right, I might graduate up and fish a higher league, more expensive. You never know. It just depends on how life treats me. The next couple of years, I've got my own business. I do heating and air. So it could be really make or break. I could actually struggle and do very bad, or I might actually, the wind might catch underneath my sails and I might fly. So we'll see how this next few months goes. Heating and air wise, I'm getting okay amounts of work, but I don't market because I don't have a lot of money. So my phone isn't ringing as much as it should, even when it's 100 degrees. I'm barely staying busy one day at a time. And then, like, for example, today was 95 degrees and I only ran 2 calls, but I made like $800 on 2 calls. So I got lucky. Could have made only $200. I can't have every day be like this. So hopefully things will get better. I believe they will. I have faith and I do what's right. And I take care of people. And I've got all 5-star reviews on Google and on Home Advisor. So hopefully we'll get there. So, but on this end, on the fishing front, on Common Sense Fishing, if you guys get a chance, smash that like button and keep commenting. You guys are awesome. So your son and I will be at the time in your tiny boat. Hey man, it's cool. Yeah. Do you guys have? I think it's the little black and silver the tracker. I think it is, right, Racho? Isn't that what you guys got? So you fish with your son? Was it just your son you fish with, or do you fish with your daughter too? I have to rotate. I've got 4 kids, and most of them like fishing, so and I take them all. But now I've whittled it down. There are 2 kids that really enjoy fishing out of the 4. So if you turn up the playback speed, you develop an Irish accent. I tell you, son, I probably got a wee bit of a funny accent, like all the time. Yeah, sometimes my words, I don't know if you'll notice. I used to be able to talk very well, and some of Casper has interrupted with my ability to fluently conversate for sturdy, long amounts of time, and I sometimes get stuck. Like, yeah, but that's not what I'm talking about. My words almost actually, some of them might have a lisp or a sound to them because about 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago, I was doing a side job and I was installing a mini split for this grow room up in Santa Cruz when I was working for a company down there. And it wasn't, I don't steal business. It was just random buddy that I knew was like, yeah, man, I need your help. So I was like, all right. So I put it in, and I'm running a drain line, and I'm just drilling a hole through the wood. But I'm using a Milwaukee, very powerful hammer drill, and I'm using a wood bit, and I'm going through this wood, and I'm looking because I'm about 2 inches, and I need to drill, like, it has to be level. It can't be like this. It can't be like this. It has to be sloped just slightly towards the outside because it's a big piece of wood that I'm drilling through. So the slope has to be downward for the drain to work correctly, right? So I'm down and I'm aiming it and I'm going it, and the freaking bit catches, and the drill swung around, bow, and caught me right in the face. And it right here, put my freaking tooth through my lip, and I was just hanging like this. And I could see my teeth, and I'm all like, oh shit. I had to take my lip, put over my tooth. I was like, oh, blood everywhere. It's like, oh shit. And then you know what? I said, hell no, I want to get paid. One of their buddies had a bottle of alcohol. The other buddy was actually a medic and a fireman at the grow site because it's Santa Cruz, right? So he goes and gets his first aid kit. we take care of it and bandage it and do all this crap. And then I just smash all the alcohol. So I'm like, take a couple ibuprofen or something. And I go back to work because I got paid some G's that night. I was like, pay me. I don't give a shit if I'm busted up. Now I got to go to the hospital. You better pay me now for sure. I got to lost half my money to the stupid bill. So I went in to the ER and they're like, damn, because it was huge. They're like, that's going to be a tough one to stitch up. And I had a beard. And I'm all super glue it. And they asked the doctor, can we do it? And they said, yeah, if he wants it to be super glued, for sure, go ahead. Because they make medical super glue. I was all super glue that shit. I don't want stitches. So my lip, I don't have the best, I don't have much feeling in this part of it. So sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes I might, a little slip up. I'm going to smash a little bite of this. Oh, okay. I got my buddy wants to go fishing tomorrow. So hold on. All right. So looks like tomorrow my buddy wants to looks like I might be fishing tomorrow with Jeremy and Jeff. So Jeff Garcia, I'm pretty sure he's talking about you, buddy. Do you get invited to go fishing with my buddy? My buddy and I. If you did, I think you're getting invited to come fish with me now. So, perks of being a member. Thanks for watching. But yeah, in all honesty, though, yeah, I'm going to be going fishing tomorrow. It looks like. Excuse me. I got to make money, though, and do heating and air, but I'll take a Tuesday off to fish with my brother. I work on the weekends, too, so I need a day off. I took Sunday off, but I worked all day Saturday and busted my butt off. And this weekend is supposed to be in the 110s again, so I'm probably going to be working this weekend too. So I might as well just take tomorrow off, go fishing, go have some fun. So hopefully we're going to have some good footage for you guys. Going to head back towards the Delta. We're going to go hit some areas up. So I got to get my boat cleared off. I got all these toys on my boat. I've got like 6 bikes and like 40 toys all piled all on my boat, so I got to drag those off and bring them in here. Looks like we're going to probably be fishing somewhere at the Delta. He says there's like a pond out there that's at the Delta. There's like a housing development pond, but I'm a little hesitant to just smash up to some place that, like, I don't know if you're allowed to just. He says it's a Manteca spot, and the trolling motor, you're only allowed to bring your trolling motor. But I don't know if they'll let me drop my boat with the big motor, even though we're not using it. No, I don't have my boat fixed. See, even without the boat fixed, I'll take the trolling motor. I don't give a shit. I just won't use the big motor. I'll just go and I'll just shore fish, or not shore fish, but I'll drop the boat and just go with the trolling motor for as far as I can and then come back with it. And if I run out of battery, I'll turn the motor on and I'll drive real slow. Prop still spins. I've got 2.5 blades. I'm just not going to push it hard. I'll drive 5 miles an hour and putt all the way back. It won't damage it. I don't think so. Yeah, well, I'm stupid, huh, dumbass. I've been trying to get my boat fixed for the last 2 weeks. I'm getting fucking, excuse me, I didn't mean to drop that. See, I do, we do these live streams and I don't curse and I don't do certain things on most of them. If we do, we usually go members only and we have too much fun. So we have a little good time. But yeah, I don't. Oh man, ugh, get me stressed out just thinking about it. Is I've been trying to get my boat fixed, and none of these damn mechanics are answering their phone. It's so annoying. That must be like how people feel when they need their air conditioner fixed, and they call everyone, and there's nobody to work on their air conditioner. But at least they answer their phone and say, "We're booked, we're busy, or we can get to you next." Assholes not even answering their phone. I could tell you who too. I'll give their, I'm not too happy about the fact they don't even answer. So, anyways, if we can get a like button, smash that like. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it. But yeah, haven't got the boat fixed yet, but I'm going to take it out anyways. I'm just not going to push it. I'm not going to go fast. I'm not going to go running anywhere. Basically, trolling motor only. So you can take it to Fox Grove. There's a couple places I could take it to where you don't need the big motor much. There's a couple of small little lakes. I could go to Eastman and putt around in it. But like I said, I'm frustrated. I can't get my boat fixed. I'm trying to get it fixed. I'd like to go out to Berryessa right now too. I'd really like to get out to Clear Lake before they shut it down. Go do another Clear Lake in the Banana this time. But I'm getting frustrated. I can't get my boat fixed. So, like I said, I was going to do some shore fishing, but I've been doing so much heating and air conditioning work right now that I'm glad I can at least do these live streams. That way, with these live streams, we still keeping in contact with the community, letting you guys know I'm still here, still going to be putting out content. Just bear with me on the fishing side. Heating and air conditioning in the middle of the summer only allows me 1, maybe 2 days a week to get out and fish. With the boat broke, it's not helping. And then it's even worse that it's summertime. Every dipshite and their mom is bombarding these boat shops up, I'm sure. And then I'm sure there's a lot of rich people that are like, well, I'll pay you extra if you could get to my boat first. And these guys probably have money being thrown at them by all these people with the more fancy or expensive boats. Not even necessarily bass boats, but $100,000 ski boats and little mini yacht boats and stuff like that. My little dinker problem, my live well and my prop, a couple $100 or more. It's like I can understand, but at least it hurts that at least they don't even answer their phone, man. And I'm talking 2 or 3 companies that I've used before, that I've gotten in contact with before and did work with, and they won't even answer their phone. Like, man, that's bad business. Even if you're that busy, that's still bad business. But whatever. How you guys doing tonight? Cheers. This is my first beer. I think I need to pound it. Wants to see me pound it. Comment below, smash the beer, and it'll go down. I'll sip on it. This is a blood orange one too. These are the ones that are only like 5 or 6. Oh, never mind. These are the 7% ones. So, ooh, how you doing? Like an Old English right here. You guys remember those Old English or St. Ides? See, we go down rabbit holes. We start talking about Mad Dog 2020, and it's game over. Night Train. Oh, someone was a wino. Did you try the place on Santa Fe? Yep. I'll give you guys the names. Adams Marine, not answering. Oliver's Outboards, not answering. And the other dude in Turlock, not answering. Mickey's Big Mouth. There you go. That's like me. I'm Big Mouth. Talking all this. Wop, wop, do wop. Boy, if you can talk this long, you got to have a big mouth, right? I love having fun. Thank you guys for watching, man. You guys are awesome. But yep. What was your favorite drink if you drunk back in the days? Lots of headaches. Yep. St. Ides, Old English, Mickey's Big Mouth, King Cobra. Ooh, he did it. He went there. Ooh, I remember drinking one of my dad's King Cobras when I was like 13, and I got hammered. But that beer turned me off of beer till I was like 16, 17. I stopped for a good 3 or 4 years though. I tried it early, and I did get drunk and hammered, but that beer tasted so bad. I remember drinking it and keep trying to drink the whole thing, and I was drunk like halfway through. And when I got towards the end, that tasted so. I think I threw up like foam and stuff. Ugh, Mad Dog 2020. Oh yeah, the red, the green, the blue, the orange. I liked them all. The Mad Dog 2020s were bomb back in the days. They got you faded. You get 2 of them, you were off the wall. You were good. How about this one? We're gonna run this one by you guys. How about a country club? The water of beers. They were the cheapest 40-ounce malt liquor. And they were malt liquor, so I think they were at least like 6% alcohol. And we were little fishers. We would be like 16 years old, sitting out in front of the Village Liquor with sitting there scratching. Hey man, come buy some beers. We need some beer. Oh yeah, little guys, I got you. We've had people jack our money. Most people were cool though, but you'd have some people, you're too young for beer, screw you, and just take your money and leave. Or just take your money, buy stuff, and then walk right past you. What are you gonna do about it? 16, you ain't gonna do much. But sit out there and I remember we would work our butts off, scrounging around for change, doing whatever we could just to get a couple bucks, and then go to the store and buy a 40-ounce just to get bent to pass the time because we were so bored, teenagers with nothing to do. So we just sat around and drank and, dumb shit. Schlitz Blue and Red Bull tall cans. Oh, yeah, the Schlitz. Woo! We got us a crew here, huh? Man, Virgil, me and Virgil, we get Bentowski when we go to the Delta. Oh, we get our IPAs, and then we always stop somewhere to eat. Oh man, I love it. My first beer stocking my dad's cooler at 12. We owned liquor stores. Exactly. You know what's up? Like stocking the freezer real quick or the cooler. Take one, even try that right here. Yeah, I think my first beer was that one of my dad's, and it was a King Cobra. My second beer I remember drinking was a Coors. Then after that, I don't know. Shit. Too many different kinds. I know that I had beers that I liked that ain't around today anymore. The St. Ides ain't around anymore, and those were my favorite. I don't know. Back in the days, it almost seemed like there was a little war between the malt liquors of who was like the badass. And it was like Mickey's, Old E, and St. Ides. Like you drank one of those 3 back in the days if you're from California. Specifically, Northern Cal, Central California, you knew what a St. Ides, a Crooked Ides, you knew what a St. Ides was. But they don't have them anymore. They're crazy. And they had the St. Ides flavor drinks before they had the Mad Dog 2020, I believe. Mad Dog came out after them. If I remember correctly. I had to disappear real quick. Take a bite. Oh yeah. Well, tell him. Tell Verge. Hey Verge, take me and Common Sense fishing. All right. Meet up. Let's go. I'll go. My props busted, but I'll still drive slow. Like at the Delta. I'll go fish around. So I don't mind. But no more Kelsey Bass Ranch right now. I don't have the money, unfortunately. And so it is what it is. $2,500 a year, and they're just no double digits there, I don't believe, or very little. I've seen so many thousands of fish pulled out, and with so many different techniques. Yeah, I just do not believe they're there. I think they'd die. So I don't think it's worth 2,500 bucks. I would love to, if they gave me a deal, to help promote them. Like I did last year, I did so much to try to promote that place, and I've got at least like 5 or 6 other anglers to purchase memberships out there. So, but I can't afford it this year. Maybe next year, you never know. But hey, I'm so happy just to have what I got. I got a boat. Hell, I'm alive. Got to be happy sometimes, or you got to be, not sometimes, most of the time, or all the time if you can be. You got to be grateful, though. That was the word I'm looking for. At least I do, got to be grateful. I should have died over 20 years ago. I told you guys, most of you guys know the story about my car wreck. I'm on borrowed time as it is. I'm happy for every day I got. Tell you what. So, thanks everybody for watching. I'm going to smash this beer and I'm ready for another one. I've been lagging. I've been talking too much tonight. That's, I guess, not a bad thing when you have a podcast, or not a podcast, but a stream. So, and to all my members, I also, like I said, we do a giveaway once a month. And so one of the giveaways that are optionable is to come fish with me. So usually there's 3 options, either a lure pack, like some kind of reel or something, a gift card, or either like a fishing trip with me. So that way, if you want to get out, we'll go out there and we'll smash some bass. Definitely. At least go try to. Most of the time we get out and we catch fish, but sometimes fishing's tough and you only get a couple. Charles has been with me on a tough day, and I didn't do that good. Didn't catch a ton of fish. And, that's just how it can be sometimes. Reels, right? He's like, if you win, you got a reel coming, buddy. For sure. I think the last 2 guys, they got reels. RC Creative and Ewing Kennedy. Redemption, damn it. I know how you feel. I know. We'll go back. You want to go fishing with me, Charles? Let me know. We go run out, go out to like McClure, Don Pedro. It's only $20 to launch. And then the gas, it's not crazy. So it's not like I could go to Kelsey anymore, though, and just putt right in and fish for free. I mean, it wasn't really free. It was $2,500, but when you whittled that down into how many trips I went, I probably went 100 times. So each trip was probably $25 to get in for me. But I don't know if I'm going to fish that. I don't know if I really went 100. So it might have been like maybe 50 times, which means each trip cost $50, which isn't that bad still to fish a private bass lake. But I don't think it has double digits. And so I don't think it's worth that $2,500 until they take care of the fishery better and the fish grow. And it's going to be a couple years. Yeah, too damn hot. I agree. I got a buddy. We're probably going to, like I said, we're probably going to go tomorrow, but he wants to leave 4 a.m. So as soon as we're done with the live stream, I'll smash a couple beers and then I'm going to go upstairs and, pass out and then get up. Make sure my GoPros are charged, make sure my batteries are ready, and get out there and go have some fun, put a video together for you guys. So that'll be fun. And it's, who it is, it's my buddy Jeremy. So usually there'll be some hilarity to ensue there. So we'll see what kind of fun we get into. Hopefully get into some big fish. And like always, I'm going to be doing what I say. I'm going to be square billing, Senkoing, and top water. They'll probably be the only 3 lures I throw right now at the Delta areas. Even on a pond, it'll probably be mostly that. I might throw, the ponds are different though. So if it's like this little lake, I may have to throw whatever it takes to catch them. But if it's the Delta, I know for a fact I'm just gonna cover water at those square bills, and I trust in the fish gods, and they coming through. But you guys are awesome. Thanks for watching. Smash that like if you get a chance here. Jumped on early for you guys. I was on at 6 o'clock tonight, so we're about 2 hours and 15 minutes into the live stream. So that's cool. So again, today's topic was how to catch your PB, how to catch a big bass. We went over all kinds of different stuff. So if you get a chance, you can watch this over. First hour, I'd say, is pretty informative and straight to business fishing talk. And then once we have enough of the crew show up, we're just hanging out and having fun chatting, which is how I like it, actually. So it's cool to see all the different people on, and to each individual person may have their own things they're wanting to know about that night. Hey, what about this or what about that? So it's cool, interactive, great fun. So for those of you who are watching afterwards, though, this is how the live streams go. We have a good time. This is a relatively moderate one. Casper didn't show up. We had one F-bomb slip out. So usually sometimes I try to keep them clean, but I don't monetize the live streams, so I don't get anything from these unless you guys super chat or become members. So otherwise, I don't put ads or anything up on these, even afterwards when we play them later, because I just don't like the scrutiny on the channel, because my fishing stuff is 100% family friendly, clean, mostly, right? And it's advertiser friendly all the way through and through. And right, I don't want to get kicked off YouTube, or don't want to get in any trouble for it. But the live streams here is where we can have fun usually, and if we have a little too much fun, so to speak, then we just turn it to members only. So that way, for those of you who support the channel, if I got drunk and went on a rant about freaking the damn aliens are invading us from outer space and the government did you guys will forgive me. You get my point, though. So look at this chat room, though. You guys have been pretty active tonight. Thanks for that. We've had a pretty cool conversation tonight, and a lot of members in the house. That's pretty cool. I'm seeing more and more members. And if you guys wonder what the little colors on the side of your name means, that's how long you've been a member for. So, and you look, I'm a member too. It's funny. I don't have to be, but I am. I'm one, so I have the little circle with my name. It's funny. I could probably figure out a way to put it in there, but it almost looks like it looks like an S, right? That's cool because my name's Sam, so the membership sign's like an S, a 45-degree S. That's pretty cool. I didn't never notice that. Oh yeah, but Charles was talking. It's too damn hot right now to go fishing, and where we're at right now, it's 95 to 100 and something degrees. So, excuse me. This last weekend we hit 111 in the Central Valley, California. So California's sitting at 111 degrees. Yeah, everybody knows Mojave Desert gets hot, but yeah, people when they think of California, it's a freaking big state. So, but when they think of it, they think Sacramento, LA, San Francisco, right? Not the Central Valley. Oh yeah, next week's gonna be 112. Money, 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 money. I do heating and air conditioning. I'm not wishing anybody shit to break, but it's inevitable, like Thanos. And so, just like Thanos, I am inevitable. I am the AC man. At one point in your life, you will probably see someone like me, and you'll probably want to pray that it's me over anybody else, because that damn bill is not fun, man. Air conditioning bill is always like 500 to 1,000 plus. It ain't cheap, man. Oh, and you'll get people too. They'll try to look up the price of parts. Like for example, I'll give you guys an example. A motor for your condenser outside, like the fan, that motor is probably anywhere from 80 to about 120 bucks. And most companies are going to want between $600 and $1,000 to change it out. Dead serious. I blow your mind, but it is what it is. I mean, you don't question if you go to a shrink or your kid or you have an issue mental health wise and you have money or you have insurance, right? But they may pay that person $300 an hour. Well, we have degrees. I went to college. I have a degree, and I've done what I've done 15 years to be good at what I do. So my value is in my skill and my trade, right? So it's not like I'm worth 20 bucks or 40 bucks or whatever an hour. You don't put a price on me. And like the customers that do find out real quick, like I'm a nice guy, but in the AC world, they'll just charge you more or they'll leave. And then you'll eventually burn enough bridges, you'll learn to shut up and just pay what the AC man says. Because it's not like there are ripoffs out there, believe you me, and you got to watch out for them. But our trade is a tough trade. And the hell if I'm going to be in your 150-degree attic, welding and pulling motors and things out, and busting my ass off for no, 20 or 40 bucks an hour or whatever have you. So this is a tricky trade. So, but I take care of people. I can't speak for everybody in the trade. A lot of us are good guys. I'll tell you what, most HVAC dudes are good guys, but there are some companies that have this poisonous attitude of sell, sell, sell. They push, push, push. And to me, it's like a car salesman. But if you're a professional, and let's say you're a car salesman, and when you see a customer come on the lot, you run at them and you start directing them. You ask them questions, but then you turn around and you try to steer them towards the cars that you want to sell, the price ranges, or say they want this car, but you take them to the upper end options, right? Maybe, but the thing is a true professional will, of course, maybe ask some questions, but they know their shit. And they're there to guide you and help you, not push you, not in any way. And they're simply there to state facts, give you information, and help the process along. That's all a good HVAC guy should do. Figure out what's wrong. Why did it break? Is anything else going to break? Do you have any other problems while I'm here? Is one room too hot or too cold? Is your bills too high? Is there any issues you want? Or even if not, in the course of me doing my job, did I see anything? And then I'm not just going to come at you, well, I was doing my job. I noticed this, this, and that. I'll ask you. I'll tell you, look, Bob, I'm going to go fix your AC. But while I'm at it, I'm going to go look at everything, make sure nothing's out of whack, make sure everything's connected and sealed good. And if I see anything, I'll let you know, okay? Well, yeah, sure. So then if you go and everything looks perfect, but this part was broken, well, Bob, the reason your AC is not working, this part was broke. Okay, great. Oh, well, Bob, this part was broke, but I also noticed this, this, and this. Whatever. Then you leave it at that. It's the same thing with cars. Anything else in life. Treat people with respect, I believe, and the success and the money will come. That's what I try to do with this channel. I like to help the community. I treat everybody with respect. I try to anyways. I can slip up in my own, anger too sometimes. But I'm a pretty nice dude. So thank you guys for watching. If you found yourself here, smash that subscribe and like button. If this is your first time watching, I want to welcome you to the channel. But, we do a lot of fun things here. And for those of you, this ain't your first rodeo. I greatly appreciate you guys sticking with me. And again, please remember, the more you talk as far as the questions you have and things you want to go over, the more stuff I'm willing to also talk and go over, so you guys aren't just hearing me yap at you. So, but again, I want to say thank you. So how often do you do the streams? I joined the Facebook channel too. Want to get into that raffle to help out the kids? All right, perfect. So once I get off here, I'll dial everything in. But the Facebook page is Bass Fishing Lovers. My name's Sam Matthews. So the link's up above in the comments right there in the top chat. So then you can go in there, you can friend request me, or also you can also get in there and see all that stuff. How often do I do the streams? The streams are every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday every week. Now, if I'm working, if I'm fishing, and I cannot make a stream, I try to make the very next day. So I plan them Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So almost assuredly, you can always plan on me being there Monday, Wednesday, Friday. However, if something does happen and you don't see the stream for the day, rest assured I'm not dead. I didn't make my channel and then get bored and get lazy. A lot of guys kind of get into YouTube and they make some videos and then they taper off, and then there's kind of, I try to be consistent, even if it's consistently mediocre, if it's consistently great. I try to be consistently great. The channel's growing, we're doing okay, but I don't know if everyone, really digs it and loves it, but obviously we're doing all right. So I try to provide consistent stuff here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And if like I said, if I miss a Monday, you might see me Tuesday. But if I wasn't able to get on Tuesday, you might see me Wednesday and Thursday. And then if I missed enough days, or if I just feel like it, you guys will also see random pop-up live streams by me on the weekend and also throughout the week. I like to do surprise giveaways. So sometimes I'll pop up and say, hey, y'all, I want to say thank you to the community, like I did with this one. Jeff Garcia won this autographed rookie ball. So if I go fishing with him tomorrow, I'll be dropping it off. So sometimes, I just feel like sharing the love. So, keep your notification bell checked, but you can regularly expect to see me Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and throughout the week with some fishing uploads. Like when me and Virgil go fishing, when me and everybody else go fishing, we do toy drive videos. Also do tips and tricks and tutorials and stuff like that. I've got a whiteboard hanging up over here. I'll drag my GoPro over, set it up on a little stand, and I stand in front of the whiteboard and I try to break stuff down. So we'll do some more of those coming up soon. A lot of cool stuff here. So hopefully I didn't yap your ear off, but yeah, that's what we're doing on the channel. Boy, look at my tattoo right there. For those of you if you're interested, it goes all the way up and back. Truth, trust, and happiness, and then it's a Chinese water dragon. That was a decent cover up. I had some garbage on there years ago. Now this one needs to get fixed for sure, but it's cool. This is my heritage. Native American, who I am, 209, where I'm from, and mama's boy, the ultimate person that made me. And I love my pops too very much. He deserves to be up here just as much as my mom. But it was my first tattoo. Now, who was going to be mad at me more than anybody? My mom. So I figured let's get a mama's boy tattoo. How could she get mad at me? And it was hard for her. Then once I got one, I could get more. So sorry, Mom. She's in heaven. So, I've been homeless, lost my boy, lost my mom. I've had life kick me into nauticals for sure. Been divorced. But I have a good chipper attitude. And, for all the life's done negative to me, it's done so much positive to me. Way more positive. So that's why I want to give back and do as much positive as I can to the world and community. Help out, with these kids. And kids are very important to me, being that a couple of things. I lost my, what I thought was my firstborn son. True story is I find out there's a kid that I was pretty sure was mine. There was a girl that I'm pretty sure that I got her pregnant. We had a big falling out, problems and issues. She left when she was like 7 months pregnant and wouldn't let me see the kid, told me the kid wasn't mine. And apparently she put him up for adoption. And I might actually get to meet this kid finally. Well, I took a paternity test and he is my child. I'm very excited and happy to say that. So I always thought I lost my firstborn, and in a way I kind of did, like he was taken from me, but he's still here. So I'm excited. Hopefully I'll get to meet him someday soon. Me and his parents have been having a little bit of a conversations here and there to break the ice.
and they sent me a they sent me a DNA kit, and the results just came back about a week ago that I'm his dad. So I'm excited. So send some well wishes or prayers or what have you for Common Sense and this boy, and hopefully I'll get to meet my son. If not, now I love him either way. It wasn't me that took him away. I didn't want to give him up. I never would have. I would have fought tooth and nail. So, but that's life. You can't go backwards. All you can do is go forward. Same thing with fishing. You can't unlose your fish, man. You can just figure out, what the hell did I do wrong? Like, why did I lose this fish? Why did my line snap? You know what I mean? Check your eyes, check your guides, check your reel, check your fray. So, thank you guys. And then the other reason I do these toy drives is I was super poor my whole life, mostly. Still not doing very good, but I'm doing all right. Shoot, better than I've ever been. But I look at others and I just want to get better, right? So I'm like, oh, whatever. I'm doing hella good as far as where I've been. I own my house, own my vehicles, own my boat. Things could be much worse. I've been homeless, like I said. So I started off super poor when I was a kid. And my very first memory, one of my earliest memories that I can remember, is of me at Christmas being poor and getting a secret Santa hookup. Like somebody felt bad about our family, and they took care of us through church or something, or I won or something, or I don't remember how it happened, but I got to go like on a shopping spree in the mall in Monterey. I got picked up in a limousine and got to meet Santa Claus and got to drive around in a limousine. I got to hang out of the sunroof. I was super little. I had to stand on the thing and they helped me, but they let me hang out the sunroof. They made it a big deal for me. And it was like one of my earliest memories was being this super poor little kid, but being like the king of the world, the happiest feeling you could feel, because I remember things were extremely bad. And that stuck with me, super powerful. And so I want to share those emotions and feelings. I want to help little kids, hopefully give them that kind of emotion and feeling, that there are people out there that care, and that people out there that love you, even if you don't know it. There are people out there that, even if they don't know you, it may sound hippie-ish, but they're genuinely people that just care about most humans and want, and kind of like in a way love you and want to see you succeed. There's a lot of bad people out there that would lie or smile in your face and take everything they could from you, but there's also good people out there. So I think it's important to share and to spread that, because then you create, in my opinion, more good people by sharing those experiences and by helping others feel what it feels like to be helped and to have a rescue when they need it the most, right? Not everybody gets rescued. It sucks, but I mean, the more we can all do for each other, the better, right? And I think of the same way in fishing. Hence is why I share my spots, my lures, my techniques, is I want to see the fishing community. I want to see fathers catching fish with their sons. I want to see girls that get into fishing for the first time, mothers and daughters, fathers and daughters. I like to see the guy that's been struggling his whole life break his PB on one of my techniques or whatever, or anything for that matter. Just the smile, the joy of fishing, right? So, everybody out there, to the Common Sense Fishing crew, you guys are a part of why I do what I do here. Thank you guys so much. The channel wouldn't be here without you guys. You guys are awesome. Look, I get sappy and I try to thank everybody. I lost everybody. We're down to like 5 people now. they watch because we're about to get off. It's almost 9 o'clock. Usually I go 7 to 9, but tonight I went from like 6 to 9. Positive vibes are contagious, man. I know. So I try to share positive vibes with people because that's how I felt about it. Super contagious, you know, to have that feeling of joy overrides any negativity I was experiencing at that time, any hardship. I can remember being super poor and hurting, and I remember crying. I remember writing letters to Santa. If I forced myself to go back and think about it, I can remember that Christmas, if I remember correctly, I had to write an essay where I had to like write to Santa like what I wanted for Christmas and why. And I remember being super poor and wanting, I think I wanted a little brother, and I got one. But I remember wanting stuff for like my mom and dad and family, and talking about like how poor we were, and like I don't know whatever it was. It just I remember writing a letter to Santa. I don't know if that had anything to do with it. I can't lie. This is all old ass memories from probably anywhere from 3 to 5 years old. I have a weird like savant. I can remember not all the time. I have a bad memory sometimes from Casper, but I can remember times when I was 3 and 4 years old for sure. My parents. I remember the first time I got stitches when I fell and busted my lip at 3 years old. So I remember running out of the house and chasing the diesel truck. And so a lot of crazy stuff I remember doing as a little kid. Some of us are not like that. Our memories only go back so far. But that was a strong one, Christmas. Excuse me. So I pick that every year to do my little, you know. But here's the thing, guys and gals. Who wants to go fishing in December, November? Who wants to go fishing when it's rainy and cold? Die-hard bass fishermen? Yes. But when I'm trying to do this and I'm trying to generate buzz to help the kids for the, Christmas, it's really hard to use fishing as that tool, which is why I start the fishing toy drive for Christmas in the summer. Is I know it's not Christmas yet. I know it's not that time of year yet. Some of you don't want to hear it yet. There's going to be Santas and fools and charities up and down the wazoo. But this is genuine. You are helping people in your own communities. I'm helping people. It's a great thing to do, and it's very genuine. There's no CEOs. I don't keep money. I break lots of my own money doing this. I don't like take fools fishing and make 300 a trip and do 10 trips and make $3,000 and then go spend $1,000 on toys. You know what I do is I do 3 trips. I make $100 on each trip, and then I go spend 600 on toys. I do that every time. So I almost match the money every time. And so that's why I don't know. I just super get excited about talking about it. Hopefully spreading the cheer, spreading the positive vibes, maybe getting other guys to do similar things or to support the cause, right? So for those of you, if you haven't seen, like I said, I got Fishmas 2020 from last year. So I'll put a link real quick in the comments if you guys want to see. Last year, I took care of Christmas for over 200 kids, right? So, and instead of watching like a bajillion videos like of me taking people on toy drives and this, you can kind of get the entire broke down version of it right here. Is I introduce you to all of the fishermen who have known. You guys watch me wrap the presents. You even get to meet some of the families. Let me record them, dropping the that were more didn't want to have their face. So that right there, you guys see in the comment section right now that I just put. That's the video Fishmas 2020. If you're interested in checking it out, that way it's right there, so you don't have to dig through my stuff. But 209 Bassin, those life hardships are a blessing and a curse. Blessing because you use it as motivation to work harder to make sure your children never have to live that life. Exactly. It's not really a curse in the fact that it's like, yeah, it's bad because any negative thing that happened to you in a sense might have set you back, but some negative things may have been such a learning experience for you that they actually propel you forward. They give you fire. They give you and then each person's different. For example, someone like me may have someone bully me, like as a kid, or beat me up, and then that create this anger and fire. And then I'll go and take classes and learn to defend myself. And the next time the bully messes with me, he's getting messed up. Right. And then from then on, I have this fire and urge and desire to protect people. And if I see people messing with people and hurting people, I'm usually the first one that will come out the blue and I don't even have to know you, but if I see someone hitting people on the ground or hitting women, and I don't even have to know the situation, I'm like a protector, right? And there's these psychological reasons why I am the way I am. And it's because of things that have happened to me. So they can be bad, but they're what shape us. They're what make us who we are. And in some people, everybody's different. Some people their armor and their personality is not meant to take beatings like that, and it's very bad for certain people. I think it's bad for everybody, right, in a sense. But some of us are hardened by that, or either also our fires are fed by those conflicts, and they help propel us forward and give us energy. And I'm one of those. I'm more of a combatant. I'm willing to die for something I believe in. Fiery, emotional, more emotion than logic, and I'll get fired up. I'm very critical thinking though, and I'm not dumb. That's why I'm not I want to make the joke, but that's why I'm not a liberal or on the left, right? Is I'm not all emotional and seeing everything through the lens of emotion all the time. I'm very logical and critical thinking, hence why I lean the way I do. But I can also flip like a switch and get very emotional, So I don't know. We all are what we are based off of the life experiences we've gone through, and I like sharing mine with you guys. It's cathartic for me, but also maybe it gets to connect more of you guys because you never know what else someone else has been through. So it's cool when you be like, man, he's been through that too, or wow, and you can connect with other different groups, and then even people that have never been through or seen that stuff, they can kind of see you through a different lens. And if it's negative, that's your problem, not mine. I mean, I try to always be positive, and if, like I said, if I'm sharing something negative with you, it's in the light of let's learn from what I did dumb, not like don't jump me and make fun of me because I did something dumb. Because guess what? I already jumped and made fun of myself. And if that's what people want to know, their rocks, I don't care. I'm very thick skinned in that sense. But anyways, that's how we go. Fishing can be the same way though. You just gotta learn from your lessons and try to figure it out because it can be tough. You can get out on the lake, struggle to figure out what the hell lures working, where these fish are biting. You can get down on yourself, or when you lose fish, talk to a few people. Nick, the informative fisherman, came on, actually gave me some great advice on why I might be dumping some of my jig fish. I talked to a bunch of other guys. I read some forums, and I went out there and I took people's advice. And even being that I've done this 30 years, I just redialed in my nighttime jig fishing because it's different than daytime. And sure enough, it was all in what I was doing. So I was hooking the fish, and then that I was hooking them too hard. So there were some cool things I learned, and I like to pass those along with you guys. So share the love. If you guys get a chance, smash that like button. I'm gonna go dip off to the side and take a bite off my sandwich here that I've been eating for like an hour. All right. Tell you what, guys, it is 8:52. We usually get off around 9 o'clock. So I do have a fishing trip planned tomorrow, hopefully. Just got to find out what's going on. With that, real quick. So the floor is yours. For the next 8 minutes, I'm basically going to hang out with you guys. I'll smash a beer or two. And if there's anything you guys want to talk about, any questions you want to ask, the floor is yours. And I will gracefully be bowing out here tonight at 9. So we got 7 minutes to tell everybody good night. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate the viewers. It looks like tomorrow my buddy Jeremy says that he wants to go up to this pond in Manteca somewhere that's like in a housing association that he says has tons of double digits. He says you can fish it, that there's a boat ramp, and that nobody trips or checks, no fees or registration. I guess the only rule is you can't use your big motor. It's trolling motor only. I don't know. Sundance Lake, maybe. That might be what it is. But the problem is I have a big motor attached to my boat. I don't know if they'll let us launch and just not use it, like if I leave it lifted up. I think they said something like you got to make sure you're liable, everything's dry, which my boat has been out of water for 2 weeks, so it should be perfectly fine if there's any kind of inspection. But it might be. You know what, Jose? Let me check. Let me see where he said. He says that it's a Manteca Delta spot, has some big fish, and it's all no wake. And he says no one fishes it. He says no shore fish, your boat and trolling motor only, trust me. I got you. The spot by the old island bar right after the house lake. I don't know. Jeremy's a good fisherman, dude. I've been fishing with him since I was freaking like 10, 11, 12. I don't know, something like that. So we've been really good friends ever since. Like this, ever since like 11 or something like that, 10, 11 years old. Maybe 12. I don't remember. 4th, 5th grade. Something like that. So he's a good guy to fish with, man. He catches monsters. He's got, like I said, over like 15 double digits. Got like 4. But he fished. There was a few years he just put way too many more hours on the lake than I did. He just fished too much. Of course he was going to get them. And he was on them during a hot streak when we were catching. He says it's in Manteca, and that it's a delta spot that nobody fishes, there's no wake, and that you can launch there, but it's trolling motor only. And he says that out by like Bass Pro Shops in Manteca, there's a couple of housing communities that's got like ponds on them. He says it's right past that. And he called it a delta spot. So I don't know if it's actually physically on the delta or a HOA or housing community near the delta. I have no idea. All I know is I'm going to kick his freaking ass. If we drive all the way up there and get a ticket, get fined, or can't get in, I will make him pay every fucking bit of it. I'll be pissed at his ass, and then we'll go to the delta and I'll chew him out anyways. But I'm going to make damn sure before we go, he better be 100% certain we can fish this. It just sounds super fishy. Is it just some magical place that you could drop your boat in and use trolling motor only? And but it's got all these badass big fish in it. Why wouldn't everybody and their mom be there? I don't get it. Me smells something fishy. We'll see. Well, so that's the plan. But he says he's fishing with Jeff, and I haven't seen Jeff since. This night. So let's see. When was the last time Jeff was on? Oh yeah, it was probably like 7:30. I only seen him for a minute. He popped on to say like hi, didn't he? Yep, there he did. Good evening, y'all. I made it, and then done. So he's probably definitely fishing with Jeremy tomorrow. but I'm going to try to. So all the plan is for me to get out and fish tomorrow. Let's just say that. So more common sense fishing footage coming to you guys very soon here. And then don't forget, members, you guys get it early. So I will make a video and you guys will get it for between a day and 3 days before anyone else gets to see it. And some videos I make just for you. I need to actually make a couple more. Now that we're getting more and more members, I think I'm going to get out there and probably go to one of my favorite shore spots or something and blast it, but members only. So nobody else, so I don't blow the spot up that way. Everybody can't see it and view it. And there's no way we'll have that many members, you know. And even if all, 20-something of them showed up, so what? That's still not blowing it up. I've got 1,500 subscribers. If they all showed up, we'd be in trouble. But that's the cool thing. That's the internet, right? All around the world. I think most of my guys are local, but I've got a fair bit that I've got through Facebook and the internet from different states. I know we got some East Coasters. We've got a German. I haven't seen him on in a bit, but for sure we got a German dude that watches from Germany. There's the from India, and I know I've got one from Japan that watches. So it's pretty cool, diverse little community here. They're not always commenting though, but yeah. I don't know if they're, what time frame on the other side of the world is. Don't have one of them world clocks, so who knows? They may be catching it the next day or something, right? But so, what do you guys think? Do you guys have a clue on where I might be fishing tomorrow? I don't even know where I'm fishing tomorrow, and I'm the one driving. He'll figure it out. He says it's in Manteca. Let me call this fool, actually. We'll call him live on the live stream. Then we're going to go. After this, we're going to go to bed. Or I'm going to go to bed. But we're going to make a phone call on live stream. So I'll put it on speakerphone. But this fool is a savage. I have no idea what he'll say. Like, literally. At any moment. So you guys can. Oh, he's not answering. He must still be at work. Yeah, he's still at work. This fool is going to still be at work, get off at like 1 o'clock in the morning, and then try to fish at 4 o'clock in the morning. That fool is a savage, like I said. So, all right, 9 o'clock, everybody. We're going to be signing off for the night. Thanks for watching Common Sense Fishing. I really appreciate everybody. I'll be back on Hump Day Wednesday, so we'll figure out. We'll have a good topic for you guys for then. I'm trying to get a couple guests on. We're trying to live lead this up for you guys. I've got another GoPro Hero 9 that I should be getting soon here, so I have 2. Then we're going to be hooking up Terrible at Fishing. We're going to be sending him my GoPro 8. So trying to send some love to another fellow YouTuber who kind of reminds me of my dad. His channel isn't very popular, doesn't have a ton of views, but he's a really nice guy. So I also think his recording quality is a lot of why he's probably not going much places just yet. So we're going to hook him up. So thank you guys, everybody. Have a good night. Sayonara, sayonara, Frank, whatever. And we'll see you tomorrow. Or no, Wednesday. See you guys Wednesday. I'll be fishing tomorrow. Wish me luck. Tight lines, everybody, and good night.